Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout out of appreciation to Abraham Mohammed, Adam, Adrian Quintana, Alistair Main, Blue Ridge Ranger, Burn Fat Till My Stomach Is As Flat As The Earth, Chow Yun Cat, Dank, Dave Rakia Gafford, David Robinson, David Wayne Foster, Daz Studio 68, Edwin Johnson, Erwin Jennisons, Felix Hung, Fireball X, God Rockin, Henrik 86, Joshua Balsimo, Kirsten Smith, Liam Nedrick, Life is Short, Maria Neelands, Matt, Missouri Bear, Nagara, Nathan Thompson, Naibai, Qatar Craig, Renee, Rob H, Sally Ballis, Silver Umbrella, Skeptic 936, Texas Mike, The Real Gabster, Tina Baker, Tom Herkins, Unbelievable Productions and Windrider. So a massive shout out of thanks and appreciation to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. I do believe we are joined by a few people in both Discord and G Plus panel, so I'll raise the mics on them and you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
Excuse me. That's funny.
Right, I'm back now.
All right. I don't know how to add people, so walk me through it and I'll try.
Where it says 69 participants in Master B, click on that.
Where
And
does
then
it say that? Hold on.
Then it'll give you the option to add people. If you can add Bev, that'd be really handy.
Oh, I see it now. It's
Where do you
right
see
under
it?
where it says Master B in text chat where we post. Right above, it'll say Master B, and under it, it'll say 69 participants.
It's under B, where we post.
So where we post, at the top of the page, it says Master B.
I'm on an iPad. I don't see. I'm
But I
trying to
thought you
figure
said
out.
you went back. I thought you said you went back to PC.
No, I haven't bought my PC yet. iPad
Oh.
and iPhone, and I don't see it on my. I can click on the link on my phone right now, and let's see what comes up. Okay.
Click on the picture of a troll on an iPad.
Picture of a troll on an iPad.
The icon for the group.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm on the show with you, so I don't know what to hit to get that picture of the troll. I'm sorry. I don't see it.
Just click on. Do you see the word Master B? Click on Master B,
I just did.
and then you
Hang
don't
on,
get
what's-
something that says.
I'm on Master B. I click. Now I have your picture up, and then I click Nathan's thing. I get his picture up, and then I've got a guy with a plus sign next to him, a camera, and a headset. The guy with the plus sign next to him, I hit that. It says invite people, share link, or cancel.
Okay. Are you in Master B group chat?
I'm with you guys, if that's the same thing.
No. So I've just put a little hand wave in Master B group chat on Skype.
Okay,
You see that?
if I get to Skype. Hang on, I'm going to hit Skype. Yes, I see the hand wave.
Okay. At the top it says Master B 69 participants and there's a little picture of a troll.
Got it.
Click on the troll.
Got it.
Add people.
Got it.
Perfect. Then just find Bev.
Beautiful. Thank you. That was easy enough.
Oh, my doorbell. Be back in a second.
All right.
Yeah.
Bev, where are you? All right, I'm gonna go. I gotta go find Bev. I don't have him in this. I have him in the group chat, but I don't have him here. Let me see, Bev. EEV. Oh, there he is. Bev, try thinking. So just hit him, right?
I
Yeah,
guess.
I'll
I don't know. I've never done it before.
It should give me an update. It should say.
Okay, I
Man.
just added.
There you go. 10th man rising, outdated. Bev, try thinking. Role to user. Perfect.
I did something correct. Thank you. Wonderful. You recording yet?
Yeah. Quick, now ban him.
No, I wanted to share a story. I was out yesterday and went to my friend's restaurant, and of course, not too many people were there. And one server, one pizza chef, and a busboy. So I had their attention, right? And the waiter comes in for work right at the shift time I was there. And normally, we shake hands and everything. He puts his elbow out because of this coronavirus. I go, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Oh, we can't touch each other." I go, "Shut up. That's a bunch of nonsense." And so then he starts having fun with me a little bit. "Oh, come on, man. Did you see what's happening?" I go, "What's happening? Tell me." And so I'm just trying to figure him out, right? See what place he is with this whole thing. And he goes, "No, don't start this. First flat earth, now coronavirus." So in front of all these people, he says that, right? And I said, "Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up." And so I said, I can prove to you with just three simple arguments that you will understand that the earth is flat and not spinning at these incredible speeds. And he puts his hands on his ears. "No, no, stop." And the other two start laughing, right? Because they've never heard this before. So they're new to the conversation. And I said, "What's the matter? Suffering cognitive dissonance?" We start having a little laughter, right? Well, the restaurant's got no business, so I'm just talking to these guys. And I said, "Look, number one, look out the window." And they all look out the window. And I go, "Do you see the earth spinning? Do you feel any motion under your feet?" They go, "No." And I go, "Then why do you believe them when they say we're spinning at about 840, 850 miles an hour right now? That's faster than Mach 1 jets, fighter speed." And they go, "Well, you got a point there," the pizza chef says. And then I go on to Earth-based Coriolis. Excuse me. So I go on to Earth-based Coriolis next and talk about that. And then I bring up gravity, right? And so as soon as I bring up gravity, the guy goes, "Einsteinian, the busboy of all people." And I said, "Oh, you're aware of Einsteinian force space?" And he says, "Yeah." And I go, "Well, what do you think of Newtonian three space, mass attracts mass?" He says, "Well, isn't that how it works?" And man, that opened up a can that was wonderful for the next like 8 minutes, just coming out of me, everything that the show taught me, right? Bam, 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 bam. And so they're going, by the end of this whole time, the guy who was putting his hands to his head, the waiter, he's behind me just listening. I'm just talking to the pizza chef and the busboy. And they're all saying, "Dang, we just can't overcome your arguments, but you make total sense, but how could it be?" It was great. Oh my gosh.
Without casting aspersions on the busboy's education standard, having never met him, Anthony's on a bit of a tip at the moment, pointing out that the question you received from the busboy, "Isn't that how it works?" when you described about mass attracting mass. Well, unless he's degree educated, he wouldn't know. He's been educated to believe that mass attracts mass, that's gravity. Occasionally you'll have someone at a higher level like Neil deGrasse or Brian Cox, to quote Brian Cox, "Gravity is not really a force at all." So they will tell you that. But in the school or in the education that guy's presumably had up until now, I'm assuming he's not degree educated, he won't have the slightest clue about how bending conceptual mediums known as space-time are actually giving rise to a non-force force that you can think of as a force. That level of doublespeak is not for the general masses.
Hang on, we got there, Nathan. It was good. So I said to him, "So you said Einsteinian, and you do know that Newtonian mass attracts mass. They dumped that over 100 years ago." And he looked at me And I said, why'd you say Einsteinian? Is it because of pseudo-Riemannian force space? And I length, breadth, width, and time versus no time with Newtonian? And they both look at me, and they looked at each other. I didn't say one word now. So they both look at me, they looked at each other, and they both simultaneously pretty much said, time is a concept. How can that be? I was shocked because I didn't say it first. They said it. And I said, why'd you say that? It says, because time is a concept. And I go, right, it's a convention, right? I mean, we could say a minute could have 70 seconds, and if everyone agreed to it, that would be our new convention, right? And they go, right. And I go, so how can that cause anything? And it was beautiful when they arrived at that part with time. So that busboy knew a little bit about Einsteinian, but he knew a little bit about Newtonian, but he was aware of the difference. It was really cool that he educated everyone else. I don't know if that could ever happen again, where someone else answers the concept of time before I could tell them.
Yeah, it's arbitrary. You know, they can take, what's the name of the quartz crystal, which has got a particular oscillation value, and they can then extrapolate out that value to give them a fixed amount, a fixed period, and then they can utilize that fixed period to give you the time as we understand it in seconds and hours. But, you know, that's just translating a frequency into our convention of what we call time. But does the crystal have any relevance or bearing on what we see in terms of hours moving around on the hands of a clock? Well, no, it's just vibrating at a particular frequency. But that's directly translatable in a quartz watch into the time you see. But the convention that we've utilised that particular frequency, useful though it is, to create what we call time, doesn't make either of those two things a tangible time, both of which are conventions. One is just a frequency.
Yeah, well, that was the first ever for me where they got it before I could tell them. So the waiter was listening to all this, and he's fighting it though.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? It's your religion, but you don't realise it. So you're going to behave in a sort of fundamentalist religious type manner. Your religion's challenged. The fact that they don't realise or appreciate that it is actually a religion in the first instance doesn't mean they're not going to behave exactly as a religious fundamentalist would behave. You know, as far as they're concerned, the world is as they know it, and that's it. You know, and you can't. How can this be? That's a very good way of saying it. How could this be? You're completely challenging my worldview.
Yeah. Well,
But
we got onto water finding its level. We got onto a helium balloon not being succumbed by gravity. And I asked them why. And they said, because it's lighter than air. And I said, yeah, but we're supposed to have this force that's pulling us towards the center of the earth. And it's doing it with the oceans, they tell us. And supposedly it's keeping you on the ground. And I go, do you feel a force keeping you on the ground? Do you feel any kind of energy coming from your bottom of your soul up? And he says, no. And I go, so they got us reifying all this stuff. They just put it out there, and we make it real when it's not real. I said, why do you think the helium balloon goes up instead of down? Because one of them said, well, what about up and down? And I said, so we have up and down. What does that mean? And so I walked them through it to where the busboy, who's smarter than all of us, said, "It's the air. It's the medium, the air. So it's lighter than the air. So it went up." And I go, "Exactly. So it's relative density." And then I had my phone, and I said, "My phone is at rest at this table." So I did your whole pick up the phone, and so who picked it up? I said, I picked it up. I said, if I don't pick it up, it's at rest, right? It's just so awesome being on the show and going over these arguments on a daily basis. It just flowed. You know what I mean? It just flowed out, and they were just loving it.
Very good.
I had a little gravity tail myself too. Hold on, let me clear my throat. Where is the Google Hangouts page?
Clear your throat. Get out.
There it is.
Somebody get a thermometer.
Gravity tail. I want to hear this gravity tail.
I was out hiking with my mom yesterday,
No excuses. Quarantine him.
and we were on our way back. We were going uphill, right? And there was a massive family gathering going downhill with like a bunch of kids of all ages. And as we were going up, passing them, there was this girl, like 18 or something. I have no idea. She was whatever, a little girl, and she had a NASA shirt on. I'm like, oh man, because I heard some kid say something that sounded like NASA brainwashing near the bottom, and then I'm like, oh, maybe she's like the source or something, because she had the NASA shirt. And as I pass her, she says, "Gravity always bringing us down," and I'm like, man, what are the odds of that? I thought that was weird, but yeah,
That is
I don't know.
weird.
It's just that's it. Simple tale.
That's funny.
Like right as I was passing her, that's when she said that gravity always bringing us down, because they were going downhill, right? There was like rocky steps going down, and it was a steep downhill. But yeah, I'm noticing these NASA shirts. Like I notice them at the gym now. I'm noticing them everywhere, kind of thing.
Yeah, they're blowing them out, aren't they? They're about to go out of business.
Clearing old stock.
You go, it's like 3 shirts for $5.
I remember when I was at the gym and I seen it. I'm like, what would Nathan say if he would see this? Would he call him a fundy something zealot or something? Or
No, not at
No,
all.
just-
No.
they're not a troll.
I'm not nuts. I don't just stroll around the streets pointing at people with NASA shirts and telling them their shirts.
I was just joking. I was using like your, I don't know. I was just kind of twisting it. I apologize, Nathan.
I don't take any offence.
those
Don't
are
worry about it. It's just it can seem that way because obviously your experience of me is isolated to these couple of hours where I'm doggedly determined to fight off the globeheads who come here. That doesn't mean that I stroll out into the outside world and in any way impose my views on people. You know, I mean, that's just not what I do. You know, people can go about their general day-to-day lives, but generally speaking, the people who you experience out and about aren't zealots.
No, they're normies.
Yeah, and the normies. And, you know, the normies want their normie life, and if you try and disturb that, it's like the scene in The Matrix where he's giving him the training session, Morpheus and Neo, and he's trying to explain that if you try and wake somebody up who's just so helplessly attached to the system, that they're not going to respect you or thank you for it. They're going to fight you for it. So what's the point going out into the general populace? I mean, I understand with Speaker's Corner, that's the place to do that. That's the right venue for that. You know, more power to Roxanne and all the people who go down to Speaker's Corner and do that, because that's the way to do it. You know, you're expecting, you know, that to be the case, somebody out there preaching, so to speak. Well, that's not you walking into a 7-Eleven or a Starbucks and saying, "Oi, why are you wearing that NASA shirt? NASA are lying to you about the sky vacuum."
Oi!
Oi, Fundy, get that shirt off. I'll fight you for it. Get it off now.
$53 million a day, and you wear that shirt. How dare you?
No, it's just not. That's not the place for it. You know, I'm very grateful that I've got YouTube as a platform to do what we do from, and beyond that, you know, I haven't got a church. You know, I'm not a preacher. I'm not an evangelist. People like Spurs do that, and I'm not disagreeing with that method. Same goes for Nathan Thompson or anybody else who does that. More power to you. That's your bag. You know, if that's how you want to do things, I'm not going to stop you. It's not my place to stop you. Whether or not I'd do it is a different, you know, a completely different story. I don't see myself as a flat earth evangelist.
Is it just me, or is there like a little hiss or distortion to Nathan's voice?
I don't know. I can't monitor it till it's live. I can't actually press play on the iPad.
Oh, okay.
here.
So you'll figure it out then.
Reset my audio
Yeah, there
desk.
is. There, it seems like at the end of each word, there is like not a s sound, but It does sound a little different.
I'll just
But it's
reset my
not
desk.
disturbing
Hold on
or
one sec.
anything.
He's a reptilian shapeshifter.
Check. Is that any better? Hold on one second. Jokes aside. Is that any better?
Yeah, you shifted back to the old you. Did you hear what he said when he left?
Think about shapeshifters.
Yeah, he said you're a reptilian shapeshifter.
I thought that was just when there's like glitching CGI, you know, like on a news report where they've got a CGI backdrop and then the foreground glitches out and they're like, reptilian shapeshifters, look, 2 eyelids. What a load of
They're
nonsense.
my favorite crazies to watch.
What a load of nonsense. I don't know. That's been replaced now by trans investigations. Same level of nuts, if you ask me.
Yeah,
I just
the
wanted to
mechanics
say a
can't even
quick-
say I'm going to work on your tranny anymore.
On my transmission. We
No,
call that
here in the
we don't
States.
call that a tranny here. We call it a gearbox. We call it a gearbox. Seriously, tranny. There's only one meaning for that here. It's not a transmission.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. What a great pre-show today. Got me laughing everywhere.
Yeah,
I
gearbox.
just wanted to come on real quick and say a very happy good morning to Pastor Nathan.
Piss off. Right, get out.
Oh,
I had to.
Pasta Spurs. That I can buy.
Reptilian. That's reptilian overlord, Pastor Nathan.
Reverend, I'll have you know.
Nathan's in the choir. He's got a good voice. He's not the pastor.
No, it's not my... I don't care. That's the problem. So if you wanted to classify me as that, that's fine. But the problem is I genuinely don't care. At the end of the conversation, if Brenda's converted, I don't care. Same goes for anybody else who comes here. I don't care. I don't really care if I speak to them either. You know, I'm normally happiest when there's no fundies on. They're like, you're in your echo chamber. Yeah, but it's nice. And you can come in if you want to.
No, that was totally a joke.
I know you're joking, but I just want to make it clear that I literally don't care. If people walk away from the show unconverted, I'm not like, I must capture this person and convert them to flat earth. No, I appreciate the world I live in. I talk about it. That's it. I'll debate about it with people who argue that I'm incorrect. That's it. But those are the people who come in and challenge us based on what we say at the beginning of the show, as opposed to me going out to them and going, Devil boy, take off that NASA shirt.
You've been known to say a prayer or two on the show, though.
Yeah, as an ironic joke. I'll add that
Just setting you
the
up.
prayer's for them. It's a prayer for the fundies. It's highlighting their religious nature when I do a prayer for the or did past tense. Black Swan has debunked R, so there's no assertions that they can trust in R anymore. But that was their prayer, not mine. I don't give a prayer for flat earthers. What's that? You don't believe it's flat? All right, never mind. Go away. I don't care.
We're just having fun with you, Nathan. It's good.
There are people out there that rate themselves on that, though. I know there are, because they've told me. You know, they regale you with how many people have contacted them to let them know that they were the one that converted them to flat Earth, and they're really proud of it.
Right.
And I'm not knocking that. You know, if that's your objective, to make as many people aware of what you're aware of, then fine. You know, but I don't have a conversion rate. I don't care. You know, all right. I've been told that. I mean, don't get me wrong. People have contacted me and said, "Yeah, you were the first person I came across, and your information's turned me around and made me realise where I've been lied to." And you go, "Well, that's wonderful. Thanks for letting me know." But is it something that I'm going to tally up and go, "Look at all the people I've converted to the truth"? So it's up to you. It's down to you whether or not you accept the reality that you're faced with. I'm just highlighting it, but it's not my place to make you understand it, or, you know, regale others if I have managed to make you understand it.
Yep. Well said.
I feel bad for the Globers that are arguing against all this.
On occasion, I do too.
I mean, they're preaching their religion, but they'll never get any recognition from their priests for doing it.
No. Their religion is one of nihilistic intent anyway. So it's completely self-serving religion to begin with. So to hope to get some praise from the powers that should not be in this regard is absurd. The whole basis of the religion is to be self-serving. But that's the very point, isn't it? That's what they're doing it for. They're not doing it to try and convince us when they tell us that we're wrong. They're doing it to convince themselves.
Well, when they have to run up against a description, it's not actually a force, but you can think of it as a force. And that would have never been on the forefront of anyone's mind unless there was this debate. That would have been hidden somewhere. But now they have to deal with that official statement and then try to somehow, how does that work in reality? And that's where the cognitive dissonance and the pain is, because they can't make it work, but they're defending it.
Yeah, exactly. And they want to justify their failings, blame us for their shortcomings. You know, it's fine. Like I say, water off a swan's back these days.
Oh, that beautiful swan.
Yeah, I considered myself a globe Earth troll until the Black Swan argument. Then I'm a flat earther now.
Is that so? You've mentioned that a couple of times. And there's been more than one person, more than any other subject, in fact, after just saying literally, I won't regale you with people who've converted. There's been several people who have actually said that have said, look, I didn't really fully get flat Earth, or I wasn't fully on board. There was still a vague, lingering hope that it could still be a sphere. Black Swan comes along, bye-bye globe. It becomes untenable as an argument after the Black Swan. So, you know, that makes sense.
Their whole argument was sort of like, there could be an R. You can't prove there's not an R. And then when you prove there's not an R, they say there never was one.
Yeah, there never was one. We could have measured it if we'd have sucked out all the air. Unless there's a building blocked by something. Then it'll be back again with a vengeance. I love those comments. They just revert back to like 2019 arguments without realising it. Well, of course we can prove it. There's things being obscured in the distance. I just put a little arrow towards my icon, 2 little dashes, quote marks, Black Swan. That's my reply.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
Yeah, when that first show that QE released that, I was watching, and it felt like somebody hit me right in the mouth.
Yeah, he said, holy shnikes, this is going to leave a mark. And he wasn't wrong. It's either going to leave them scarred and in eternal pain and not quite relinquishing their religion that's untenable, but trying to assert it with people like me smugly asserting that there's a Black Swan argument now in place and you're all denying the physicality of the geometric obstruction you used to claim with the Earth curve maths. Normally after someone said, oh yeah, we see buildings obscured. Not anymore. You've no longer got an R value giving you a physical geometric Earth curve obstruction called the horizon. That's not what you've got anymore. Black Swan. Not Bev's. Was it Bev? What's the other guy called? The guy who did the presentation yesterday. It's not Bev. Babs. That's it. Babs' presentation was really good. I hacked it right down. Yeah. Got much more concise because obviously there's gaps where he's asking for things to be presented. And because there's a short gap, he sort of summarised his point before each new section, which is perfect for a live show. So he's good. But when it comes to trimming it down to get it much more concise, obviously you don't need a summary of the previous point every 10 seconds. So I hacked it down to each point as a point rather than a preamble for the point, then a summary of the point, then a new slide, then a preamble of the point, etc., etc. So yeah, he did fantastically on the live show, and it came across even better when I hacked it down. It took me hours and hours and hours. Like a full-on 45-minute video that's edited is, when you're watching it, you don't probably appreciate how much work's gone into it, but there's a lot of work. It took me all evening, right up till the middle of the morning, like 3 a.m. I ended up finishing it.
Yeah, that was good. It does take a lot to edit and trim a show down, for sure.
I thought in that instance it was worth it. We've reached the point in the argument where perspective is an old argument. We're all dab-hammed at arguing it, and we've all argued it at length with many different people. So anybody who's speaking in that is going to know what they're talking about if they're on the panel. You know, Babs being obviously the prevailing person that you're hearing giving the presentation, but he knows exactly what he's talking about, and you can tell. Now, there's various points again that I hacked out. I don't think I'll get any moans for this, but where he's just contradicted himself in the next breath. But then he corrects himself and says, no, actually, I've got that the wrong way around. And he corrects himself and moves on. It's like, well, that's what happens when you're doing something on a live show as a presentation in front of several hundred people. You might make the odd mistake here and there. So I hacked out all of his mistakes and only got the actual concise, correct points, rather than, oh no, actually that's slightly wrong. What I meant was the other way around, blah, blah, blah. So I got rid of all of that as well. So yeah, I was quite pleased with the end result.
Shout out to Babs.
Yeah, big shout out to Babs. It was a really good presentation. There's others that have done a far more in-depth job. So Life is Short is one of my patrons, actually. Big shout out to you, Life is Short. He's done a far better job. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Far more in-depth, far more information. But it's like comparing a Quantum Eraser presentation to one by me or Anthony. You know, the vast majority of Quantum Eraser's presentations aren't for beginners, not even intermediate level. So that's the difference. So having something that's not like Life is Short, that's just a little bit more dumbed down, I suppose, doesn't mean it's any less correct. It just means that it's concise enough to get into a 10-minute video. Right, I better start the live show.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected. And if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by 10th Man, Righteous Force, and a whole bunch of people in Discord. So welcome one and all.
Good morning. Hey, Discord.
Not a single hello from Discord. Entirely full panel. Overfull.
Hello,
one more
good
person
morning.
than he can actually have for some reason.
Good.
No? Hello, Discord?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Oh, finally. Good to have you. Any signs of a physical geometric Earth curve obstruction edge, formerly known as the horizon in their geometric Earth curve model?
Yep. They're scrambling the black swan.
Good morning.
Good morning. Any signs of any Earth curvature of any description?
Not from Crestline.
Good morning.
Axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that, because none of the Earth-based variety, Nathan. We would feel it, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we talked about this in the pre-show because you had a chat with a few randoms, and they all appreciate that there's no intimation other than the stars moving that we're moving.
Oh yeah, let me bring that up just a little bit. So I said at one point, they're telling us we're moving at about 850 miles per hour at this latitude that we're in. Look outside. Are we moving? Do you feel movement? Does your senses in your body say something underneath you is turning? They all look at me and say no. And I go, then why do you reify it into existence? Why do you accept it? Why don't you challenge it? And that was the beginning. It was great.
Shout out to Troy Clark Theories. Thank you very much for the super chat. Also, yesterday there was a couple of people who super chatted and I forgot to shout them out because I was too involved in a conversation with Brenda. I'm really sorry if you shout. I think Flatball was one of them, and I've forgotten who the other one is, but I'm really sorry.
Can I answer Virus in chat? He says, are your senses made for that? And he puts no. Hey, Virus, move to California. When there's an earthquake, my senses tell me.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
No scientific evidence of a word they don't even know how to describe, which is not a force.
Do any of you in the Discord server that enter into debates on any of the platforms ever come across the assertion of science anymore? For the globe.
Hey, Arwin.
Hello. Hey, Arwin. Shout out to Good Servant for the super chat. Thank you very much for your support. Anybody in Discord? Any recent assertions of science from the globe side at all?
Not that I'm aware of.
Fair enough. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
Nope. Still waiting for Dr. Becky to respond to several messages.
I have a question about that.
Scientific hypotheses from the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics? Go ahead.
Can it be considered a law if you have to make assumptions beforehand?
Which law are you referring to?
That Kepler's third law thing.
Kepler's third law just gives you a scalar, though, doesn't it? You've got to make an assumption in there, which is to assume that Venus would be the same size as the presumed Earth radius. So no, when you only it depends what you're doing. If you're trying to extract out the size of the sun, then no, because you've got to make assumptions. Does that answer your question?
I think so.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun beyond the extrapolations of Venus being the same size as Earth and the utilization of Kepler's third law of interplanetary motion? Beyond those assumptions, any evidence of the distance to the sun?
It's over there.
I
had a whole discussion about that again. What was it on Flatter Discord? Where was it? Was that on this show?
It was on this show yesterday.
Right.
Shout out to Awaken a Narrative. Time to ignore ball earthers and their water ball. Yeah, it's interesting you should say ignore it. Earlier on we were talking about, I can't remember what, the NASA shirts that people pick up on a lot more since coming to this subject. Well, for me it wasn't necessarily NASA shirts, it was globe indoctrination. When you say ignore the water ball, Awaken Narrative, all I could do for the first 6 months was spot heliocentric programming everywhere. Didn't seem to matter where I looked. On the side of a phone box, heliocentric programming. Side of a billboard, side of a bus. Didn't matter what it was. People's signs for their businesses, they all had globes in them. I couldn't help seeing them everywhere I looked. Globe, 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 globe.
Oh, yeah. Even street paintings here.
Yeah. It's part of the culture. So it doesn't matter if you're part of the brainwashing, you're going to perpetuate out this meme of a globe Earth, whether you want to or not, because you think it's where you live. So it's just part of your prevalent thoughts when you're doing anything, ever. It reminds me of Mark Sargent's first gambit into this was to explain that he was producing a network for somebody, and it was about the time that the first Apple iPhone came out, and it had a picture of the blue marble on it. So he wanted to put something similar onto his network that he was building for someone else, and so he did his cursory search and found that there wasn't any. This is pre-2017 blue marble, so there was just the blue marble. That was it. Various different, rotations of the same exact picture, but ultimately one image. And like me, I did the same thing about the same time. When I got a computer of my own, I wanted slightly more elaborate. I wanted weather patterns from a satellite with the whole of the Earth in it. And I thought, real-time satellite weather data? Yeah, why not? Boy, was I wrong when I did the same search as Mark Sargent. So, other than the cartoonified logos and business names and advertising billboards and things of those nature that include globes or movies, the intros thereof, or Superman flying around a globe, or one of the Avengers coming in from a high altitude that shows the globe, whatever. All of that is just cartoonified versions of something that you've got as a reification in your mind. It's just reaffirmed by all the cartoons. Whereas back in the day, you look to try and find something that's even remotely resembling something that's an Earth picture from space, and they don't exist. Obviously, they've got their line of justifications therein, and that's what got debated about until we pointed out the next housekeeping question. How can you have gas pressure without a container? Is there any evidence that you can have gas pressure without a container?
No.
How do you test that? You can't.
It's a necessary antecedent. You've got to have a container for the gas to press upon, or it wouldn't have pressure. So therefore their assertion that the sky is a vacuum, where they're taking these pictures of Earth from space, is completely bunk. Any picture that's come from the sky vacuum, most likely from NASA, is immediately debunked by the notion that you can't have gas pressure without a container, and their sphere Earth is in a vacuum, with gas not dispersing into it. Ergo, any pictures of space are fake. Because you can't have gas pressure without a container, it's a necessary antecedent. Second law of thermodynamics, entropy. The gas, which is moving at high speed in all directions, will want to fill the available volume that's available to it. The fact that it isn't just debunks the notion that we have a sky vacuum. Outer space is fake. About self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth. Any evidence of that?
No, another reified narrative.
Any evidence of Earth radius, the R value?
Are you kidding?
Black Swan.
2020.
That's it. That concludes housekeeping.
Ah, so nice. The Globers don't show up anymore to argue. They've died.
I don't know, we might have some space pope, you a Glober. Share your pain.
At least make a cardinal point.
Boom, boom. Dad jokes. Keep them coming. So yeah, back to Babs, as we were discussing him in the pre-show in his presentation. For perspective, it is quite an old, well-established, understood argument now. Arguing about angular resolution changes. Remember when it was first cemented in my mind, going back and listening to Arwin discussing it, because at the time I didn't get it. Now I'd Dunning-Kruger, didn't know I didn't get it. I just thought Arwin was talking nonsense and kind of berated him at the time for it. And you go back and listen to his descriptions of, it's using different terminology because he doesn't know what to term it with at the time. The first vanishing point, the second vanishing point. He's just describing angular resolution changes, just in slightly different vernacular. But he was spot on the whole time. He was one of the first, if not the first, to get it on this panel.
Shout out to Arwin.
With his eyeball.
Oh, I got a compliment. I just missed it.
We're just talking about your eyeball on a stick, and you were one of the first to actually get perspective. Excluding people who joined the debate and may well have got it before they were part of this crowd. But, as far as the panel's concerned, you were the first on the panel to really appreciate what was going on in terms of hijacking perspective and calling it Earth curve.
Yes, I did, I guess, in a way. Although I was just really fascinated to figure out, what is this diffraction, really? The apparent obstruction. Like, how can that work? And then I just said, okay, I'm going to approach this just from, instead of looking out of my eyes and then sizing things up as you naturally do, I'm just going to look at a distance to the entire picture and then try to see the underlying shape of what I'm looking at. And then keep comparing that with photographs and all that, and just see, like, what does the shape look like of what you're looking at out there to the observer? Just what is the general outcome of that? And that is how I devised the optical slant concept. Figured out that, yeah, it's just not going in a perfect straight line into the distance. No, there's something else there. It narrows down. Yeah, and that's how it came to be.
Right. Fast forward 2 years and you end up with Life is Short doing 6-hour presentation on every single conceivable aspect of angular size, resolution changes, diffraction, refraction, perspective in general. And it's a very, very complex subject. So you can, another big shout out to Life is Short. His presentation cemented all of these ideas to the point where I can now debate about them quite concisely. Right. And it's because of his hard work. He took Red Pill Philosophy's work and just, along with a lot of others, and really looked into it and gave a concise, detailed breakdown of what was actually occurring in those images. Now, when Red Pill presented those images, Red Pill Philosophy, big shout out to you, it's just like, look how flat it is. There's nothing obscuring anything here. And that was the first time he was like, well, no, this is the point that you can actually qualify the angular resolution limit. This is, according to him, it was the first time. I don't think there's been any others. There may have been that clearer an image since then, but it's the only one I can think of where he was explaining, no, this is where you actually see when stuff gets too small to see, because you have to remove all of the other refractive effects from the atmosphere to end up with basically crystal clarity, to then only see what you can quantify with the Rayleigh criterion and the angular criteria, I should say, and the angular resolution limit. So it's only on perfect days, because the rest of the time you're dealing with refraction. Now, they parroted that off and give us a fairly concise, understood version of what they call atmospheric refraction, and then just do the bait and switch. Hijack it, call it terrestrial refraction, geometric based, utilising the R value that's been debunked by the Black Swan now.
Yep. While in reality, refraction, what it really does is just blur up things until eventually you'll just see a wall of blurred up gray, and you won't be able to identify anything anymore beyond that point, even if it had a sufficient size in order for you to see it angular-wise.
Right, exactly. Most of the time we're dealing with the effects of things in the atmosphere, and Anthony used to break it down quite concisely by saying, well, if you spoke to somebody out at the beach and started talking about how far you'd see, your conversation would naturally steer towards how clear the day was. Not how crap the day is and how much temperature inversion you've got in the different layers between you and the target, and how much things are being hologrammatically projected up from behind the reified Earth curve edge that is the geometric horizon. Those aren't the way you'd have the conversation. You just say, yeah, if it's a nice clear day, we'll see really far. Oh, I got the eye on the stick. Here we go.
Yeah, the updated version. Oh.
So yeah, this is like, the original version of this was far more, I say far more crude. This is pretty crude. No offense.
No, it is.
But the original version was even more crude and essentially has remained unchanged. And all you're doing is presenting what is essentially the reverse of what you'd see, the reverse of the angles if you were drawing it to the target, but you're drawing it like a perspective view in side profile. So the presentation yesterday from Babs has got the perspective view cascading to the centre of frame. You've got it cascading from right to left. But all you're doing is describing perspective, right? In the best manner you can, utilising their tool of side-on orthographic Muppet vision.
Right. It is a descriptive view. This has no geometry. There's nothing literal or to scale about it. It's a descriptive way to try to describe as to what will happen typically when you look, basically. So there's nothing literal about this.
Well, you can see the side of your own head for a start. It's Muppet vision, so whenever you look at anything ever, audience, you never, ever, ever see the side of your own head. That's not possible, but that's how they'll present it. So they remove all aspects of perspective from the view you see inside profile. Everything that you're looking at is equidistant from your position, side onto your own head. But the view you see is what's coming into that eyeball, as opposed to you seeing the eyeball. It's just silly. It's just their way of removing perspective. Shout out to Just Jack Flat Earth. Shout out to my annoying R-Song Horizon. I never considered curvature in miles, road design, nor acreage of drainage. Oh, it scrolled away. Hold on. Drainage calcs in AutoCAD 2004 to 2020. Is that so? Thank you very much indeed for the super chat, Just Jack Flat Earth, and shout out to your Our Horizon song. So excellent. So there's your version of it. Here's my version of it, Arwin. So this is what I call a sort of 3D version of Muppet Vision. So it gives you an idea of what they're trying to present, but each of these mountains isn't being presented with a perspective view that you get in the frame of the camera. They're all the same size. So even though obviously this one is right next to you, next to the frame of the camera, and this one could be, based on this being a scale of an Earth, this would be tiny, 1,000 miles away or something stupid. But of course in this representation side on, they're all the same size. Well, in feet and inches they are all the same size. That's why they do it, to keep all of this uniform, to keep a mountain that's 1,000 miles away 1,000 foot, like the one right next to you, so it doesn't change in angular size.
So you only see the tippy tops of it, but then they basically suggest to you that the entire mountain is still pretty large underneath that, hidden behind the curve.
Exactly. No perspective, no angular size limitations. Nothing will ever disappear at any distance ever. The only thing, or the only reason things ever disappear ever, is because an Earth curve has got in the way. So if this mountain here, at thousands of miles away to scale, according to them, is disappeared, well, it's only one reason. It's because the Earth curve's got in the way. Sod all to do with the fact that it's miles too small to see. Hey, Sleeping Warrior.
Hey.
You
Am I
tend
coming
to
through?
join.
Okay, I've got a new wire, and every time I unplug a wire, it tends to reset everything.
Bummer. You tend to join these days when you've got a purpose. Did you want to present something?
No. I just wanted to just let you know what ear bashing I had to endure yesterday. I was busy doing stuff, cleaning out the garage, and just tidying up, getting rid of stuff and putting some shelves up, and the usual man jobs that men like doing. And you'd finished, and I was listening to one of Jose's chats, and I think it was his birthday one. And I've got to say, there's a massive divide now, because both sides can't have a conversation. The ballers are in Jose's chat telling everybody that Flat Earth's got no evidence, that they haven't got any good arguments, that they reject everything. And we're obviously in here saying, like, listen, guys, you haven't got any evidence. You think you have, you tell everybody you have, but you can't prove that the Earth turns. You can't prove rotation, you can't prove curvature, you can't prove gas pressure, etc. But they've got their own arguments of things that they can prove, or at least model out, and they're happy with them. Now, there's like a no man's land that used to be pretty close, but now that no man's land is huge, it's like fields apart. So we've got our trench over here. There's like a football field in between the trench that they've got over there. And they're both beyond artillery fire. So that no one's firing any blows. And basically, there's no conversation. There's just that no man's land.
Hold on. Nobody's firing any blows? No. No, we just set off an A-bomb in this little analogy. An atomic bomb went off. It had a little black swan painted on the side of it, Anthony. Yeah, there's plenty of artillery shells going out. We're sitting back now on the top of the no man's land, sitting on the edge of the bunker, literally exposed to all because we've got no concerns whatsoever. Just with our hands behind our heads, looking out over no man's land, watching total carnage. That's what we're doing.
But there's a problem, though. They are being told, Jose's audience are being told, that the black swan is dead. Now, we all know that they can't explain it because they haven't got any physics for it. The problem is they're telling their audience that the black swan is dead, even though it actually isn't.
Why is that a
So
problem?
you know how like gravity's not a force?
Yeah, the American forces are surrounding Baghdad.
Yeah. It's like
Snake.
comical Ali.
Snake. They cut
Comical Ali. Yeah, that's right. So the problem is, you know, like how gravity is not a force, but you can think of it as a force. What they're actually doing now is engaging the black swan. The black swan is not dead, but you can think of it as dead. That's what they're actually doing. So we need a way of combating this. So they're obviously not going to come in to talk, and they're going to go over in their little echo chamber. That's not an echo chamber because they don't have a public link. It actually is an echo chamber, but we're not having any conversation. So we need to find a way to have some conversation because all the ballers want to support Jose, all the flat earthers want to support you. So what do we do to try and sort this out? Nobody wants to have the conversation anymore. They all want to go and sit there and hold each other's willies. And I'm like, come on, guys, where's all the evidence? It's shocking. I don't know what to do, Nathan.
There's no conversation to have.
I was going to say, why are you so concerned about this? They're telling their audience, according to you, the black swan's dead. Okay, so allow them to demand their audience sticks their head in the sand. Because what will that mean? Well, let's pretend this continues for another 5 months. And then they've thoroughly convinced all of their side of the argument that the black swan's dead. And then one of them will wander over here, thinking, well, look how calm it is. There's just no explosions on this no man's land. There's nothing to be fearful of. They come over to us and we're all sitting on the edge of the trenches, smoking and playing cards. And one of the enemy comes over and goes, "You right?" We go, "Yeah, we're fine. No bother, mate. How are you?" He goes, "Yeah, Earth's a sphere, you bunch of idiot retards." And we go, no, the black swan decimated the other side of the battlefield. Can't you see all the holes? And they go, no, those aren't holes. Those are gophers that have done those holes. What are you talking about? We were told by our masters that they were just gopher holes. Place hasn't been obliterated. We've just got a bit of an infestation. What are you talking about? Black swan's dead. And then we take their head off immediately. And they literally stood there over on our side of the battlefield with no head. And they can't quite believe what's happened.
So I guess the only way we can do this, because the reason why, to answer your question, you said, I don't know why you're so bothered. And then you went on, and it was obviously rhetorical, but I'm going to address it because I just want the position to be understood. It bothers me when children in schools are taught gravity as a force as per Newtonian because the maths is simpler, it's a stepping stone onto Einstein, and whatever nonsense that you want to attribute to the reasons for why they're not being told Einsteinian, the current position in science. But at the end of the day, all the kids that leave high school, that leave college, that leave university, that didn't study physics, that did something else, all of those like academics all still think gravity is a force, even though it actually isn't. Now, even if George Musa says that you can think of it as a force, it still doesn't make anything do something. So 99% of the educated public think gravity is a force, which is the reason why we've got all these mongs in Jose's chat. But if them mongs are also being told that the black swan's dead, on top of gravity is still a force, then it bugs me because it's not actually, the message isn't getting through. So how do we get the message through that not only is the black swan still alive, kicking, swimming around, doing his thing, but how do we get that message across? I guess the only way we can do is educate our own people and say, look, guys, go over there and slice their heads off on our behalf.
Yeah. Why do you want to be a flat earth evangelist? Why do you want to go over and slice their heads off? If they're not giving you any trouble, well, just leave them alone. Let them tell themselves it's dead. That's fine by me. That's not a problem at all.
But it bugs me when the likes of, like, I see Sean Hawkins in chat. He thinks that we've got to prove that the Earth's flat to be able to debunk Ball Earth. He doesn't understand that he who makes the assertion has the burden of proof. He tells everybody it's the opposite. Now, everybody knows that that's not true, but nobody on his side corrects him, and he still pushes it. Sean Hawkins thinks that we've got to prove the Earth's flat to disprove that it's a ball. No.
Why do you think that they don't do that anymore? Maybe it's because it's no use to try to make him stop doing that?
Sean Hawkins had come in here today and said that we've got to prove that the Earth's flat to disprove that it's a ball. That he would literally do that.
Okay, I was going to give you an analogy. So is it Scientology where they think that there's Xenu and, there's Archons and all that kind of crap? Is that Scientology?
I have no idea, Nathan.
I don't know either.
Yes, it is.
It's just I only need rough yes. It doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. So you've got Scientologists and they believe all of this stuff about Xenu and all that kind of stuff. And you give them a thoroughly concise debunking, and you call it the Black Swan. Nothing to do with our Black Swan. It's just the same parcelled up argument, but for their religion of Xenu. And you demolish it. You take it to pieces, and you present it to them. And they go, "You're wrong. Xenu's still real." What does that tell you? Does that tell you that your argument's not good enough? Or does it tell you that you're dealing with fundamentalist religious zealots who, in the face of anything that contradicts their religious viewpoint, will stick their head in the sand and tell them that it's not an issue? Oh, it's not an issue. It's not a problem. Your concise debunking of my assertion that we have a physical sphere edge horizon based on an R value, well, they're not going to ever accept that. That's why I'm not interested in converting. I don't care. All right, you still want to believe it's a sphere in the face of us demonstrating just how untenable that religious belief is. All right, okay. Well, you keep your religion. You're an idiot, but keep it. That's fine by me.
I know, but they're still telling kids in school, aren't they? That's the problem.
No.
Anthony.
Rumpus and Jose and Sean Hawkins aren't telling kids anything. They're telling their circle jerk crowd over there what they want to hear, which is that the Black Swan's dead. Well, no, it isn't. Now, am I concerned with telling people that it's still alive? No.
I know, but there are people like the Rumpus, and I'm sure he's a teacher, and I'm sure he does tell children that gravity's a force, even though it's not a force.
You don't know
because
that.
It's the convenient lie.
You don't know that.
I don't know that. You're right.
Anthony,
Yeah.
don't worry about the rumpus. He's in chat saying there is a name for people who think everyone else is wrong. Didn't he say many times that he's 99.99% right and everybody else?
Yeah, it's just same old projection. That's all they do is project onto us their own ineptitudes and failings.
Oh God, never gets old.
This is where I feel obligated to remind the chat that Rumpus claims that he's 100% right 100% of the time, yet he still tells people that with a theodolite you can point it to the horizon, you can roughly calculate the radius and the circumference of Earth with a little bit of trig, but he's obviously measuring to the apparent horizon, isn't he? He's not measuring to the geometric horizon.
Just horizon.
But he still tells everyone he's 100% right.
I've got to correct you. This is going to bug the shit out of me if we start doing that on our side, right? The horizon is the apparent position where the sky meets the ground. So I'll just rephrase that. A horizon is the point where the sky appears to meet the ground. That is what a horizon is. Now, if I say the apparent horizon is the apparent position where the sky meets the ground, well, that's got an extra apparent that's totally unrequired. It's redundant. All horizons, by definition, are apparent. It's never going to be the case that the sky actually meets the ground. The sky never meets the ground. It just appears to meet the ground. So all horizons, including the geometric horizon, are apparent by definition. So introduction of this apparent position where the sky meets the ground, or apparent position where the sky appears to meet the ground, is redundant. It's not needed. The only reason it's being used by our opponents is to give them a second horizon. A non-geometric horizon, a non-physical horizon, because a geometric physical obstruction horizon can still be apparent. It's apparent based on height. The higher you go, the further you see over the physical obstruction. And that is what their model is based upon. A physical geometric Earth curve edge called the horizon, marked with an X in their model. Well, that is their fundy belief, which they don't have anymore when they juxtapose it with this second redundant term, apparent horizon. We only have one horizon. Their horizon in their model was, past tense, Black Swan, geometric. It was physical. It was obscuring things. Not anymore. Now it's non-physical, non-geometric, according to them, with this redundant word, apparent. No, we only have one horizon. We haven't got a geometric and an apparent horizon. Their model's geometric. Or it was until we debunked it. So apparent's redundant. Just want to square that away with our own side as you're on our side, Anthony.
Yeah, and they won't come on live, but chat is alive. Sean Hawkins says that we ignore refraction. We go to your subject matter expert that says refraction is something that happens from behind the horizon. You don't even listen to your own subject matter expert. You think the horizon is actually being refracted. See how they project? It's nonsense.
Oh, well, they're just convincing themselves. Obviously, they've got to square the circle in their own mind. I mean, if you present them the fact that the geometric horizon doesn't exist, It's just an arbitrary position that you take geometric consideration when thinking about how you'll reify it into physicality. You can point that out till you blue in the face. The disclaimers that their own priests give them make it plain. Taking geometric consideration isn't having a physical geometric horizon. It's you considering it to be physical, when it's not. And the priests know it. But you want to square the circle with us. Fine, we can read.
Yep. Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, hand wave whenever it's a problem. Well, obviously we take our geometric consideration and consider it to be physical. In this instance, however, it's not physical. Well, your model's physical, and that's your claim, that we're standing on a physical sphere, and it's got these physical parameters, but apparently now it doesn't have those physical parameters. Well, that's the end of your argument. Black Swan debunks the idea that we have a radius, giving them a physical geometric horizon. They're all relinquishing it, telling us how non-physical it is, with a redundant term apparent.
Their model doesn't match reality, and they have to face that.
Yeah, or square their own circle, or stick their head in the sand and say Black Swan's dead to each other.
How do you get shape without geometry?
How'd you draw a tangent without any straight lines? Completely untenable model. But there we go. You can just tell yourselves that it's all cool. But yeah, there's no explosions here, Anthony, so you've got itchy feet. Back in the day when this happened, there'd be infighting. We'd start scrapping amongst ourselves. Useful though that was when it was you and Arwen. Bloody hell, we made huge strides with gravity, as much as I hated it at the time. But that was another lull.
I tell you what was interesting about the fight with Arwen. We were both actually arguing the same point, although we were using different terminology to get to the conclusion. We realised eventually that we were arguing the same point as each other, just with different words.
No, you weren't. Arwen was arguing for there being a force there. And, you know, at one point, he's going to hate me now because he spent about 6 months slowly fading out that view rather than relinquishing it quickly, so no one noticed. Very smart of him. Now I'm highlighting it, so he's probably going to shut me up any second.
Shut up, Nathan!
But over a long period, he relinquished the adverse position that you eventually agreed upon. But if it wasn't for him taking that contrary standpoint, you wouldn't have made any progress. So still kudos to Arwen.
And hey, there's still a force there. It's just not gravity. It's
oh, shut up! Get out!
It's relative density disequilibrium.
It's not a
Only
force.
A force
The disequilibrium has taken a massive amount of energy to create in the first instance. If it's a tree, it's had to grow. It's had to convert sunlight into energy and make it into a tree and branch out. And lots of things have had to happen to have disequilibrium, though, right?
Well,
there's no force there.
If
the
you
only
want
force
to
was
see
the
it
process
like that,
of.
you can model it out like that, but I'm not really concerned as to how it came to that. I'm just looking at, is it at equilibrium? No. Then there's a force that comes into play.
That's where he's reverted back to type. That's where they start at the point where it's in disequilibrium. Well, fuck that. No, I'm not going to do that. Don't revert to type, Arwen.
What do you mean?
I mean, that was the position that you took originally. That's how the argument started.
No, I claimed that there was a force disequilibrium present at all time. That was supposedly the cause of that. That is what the gravity conception aberration is.
Oh, fine.
No, I'm just saying, look, if something is in disequilibrium, a force will manifest. Doesn't matter how it came there. It just does. That's where the force comes in.
No, I understand. Yeah, there's got to be a mechanism to get it to return to equilibrium, and that I can agree with. So I see. The difference is you're saying an ever-present disequilibrium force was what you were arguing originally, and then you relinquished that.
Right.
I see.
I'm not saying it is there all the
corrected.
time. There's no force there all the time. It just comes into being when
something's forced into disequilibrium. Yeah. I stand corrected, Darwin. Fine. I apologise.
So, as I was saying correctly, me and Arwen realised we were arguing the same thing eventually.
Oh, fuck off. Get out, Anthony. I hate you.
No, we weren't.
Just had a fight to get there.
Oh, shut up.
Which, to be honest, if more of us had constructive fights, it would be more interesting because, well, we should be able to call each other on either way, either side of misunderstanding, because sometimes you might make a mistake on calling somebody, realize that actually you were in the wrong, and you learn something by it. But it's too much pride and ego spoils things.
Well, we're sparring. That's my point. That exercise is a sparring exercise between you and Arwin. Now, it resulted in more understanding, better knowledge, better appreciation from the audience, all those positive things. It was annoying at the time, but it still resulted in a lot of positivity. But that's what you can do when you're fully kitted up, fully well-trained, and you haven't got a battle to have because you've released an A-bomb on your opponent and they're in disarray, claiming that the holes that they're left with in their barracks are actually mole holes. Nothing to see here. Black Swan was dead. No, all these holes are just from the dead Black Swans.
It's interesting, Nathan, how in chat they're all avoiding the Black Swan. They're back to Polaris and stars now.
Of course, Rumpus is going to avoid it. He thinks he's 100% right 100% of the time, but the problem with Rumpus is he hasn't got an explanation in physics for this, because he keeps claiming looming, but he hasn't got looming defined to cover it. He just tells people it's defined to cover it, and they believe it. No, looming isn't covering the scenario that we're talking about, Rumpus. You know it, we know it, but just because all your morons believe it still doesn't make it explained. Oh, by the way, is my microphone sounding better?
Yeah, it sounds perfect.
Yeah, it was the wire.
Excellent. I'm glad you fixed that because it was getting worse.
It was getting worse, yeah. Annoyingly, it was Ranty that spotted it weeks ago.
So the very thing that supposedly was blocking the bottom of boats is what happened to that, Rumpus?
What happened to what?
The very thing to them that was blocking the bottom of boats. What happened to that?
Well, they don't have a geometric...
Now it's not there.
It got bent upwards.
Yeah, they don't have a physical geometric Earth curve edge for a horizon anymore. They used to. It used to be claimed to be the X point that they drew a straight line to while simultaneously claiming everything was bent. Now, we didn't spot it back then, but they don't have a geometric horizon anymore. They don't have something to obscure boats in the distance.
Well, that's my... Hang on. That's my point. We see the orthographic view from them for ages now. They got the X there. Sometimes they put a G there, but it's the same thing. The geometric horizon is marked by the X. Now it's their drawing. They put it there. Why did they put it there? Is it because the radius of the Earth demands that it must be there at the 1 foot observer height? And then now when you ask them where is it, they say, well, you can't ever see it. Well, then how'd you put it there? And what was covering the bottom of boats all this time? The curve of the Earth. Well, if it's not there and it's not covering the bottom of boats anymore, or obstructing is a better word.
You don't get it, 10th man. You just don't get it.
Sure.
Still there. No, it's my turn. It's still there. You just don't see it, but it still does block things. What's so difficult to understand about it?
What's so difficult to understand? It's there but not there. It blocks things but doesn't block things in physicality because it's not actual. It's apparent. What's to not understand?
I'm sure.
I want to thank Arvin for the... Hang on. I want to thank Arvin for the therapy I just received.
Go on then.
No, I was done.
No, just thanking Arvin for the therapy I just received. It's there. It's not there. It's supposed to be blocking. It's not.
But it is there. You just don't see it, except for it blocking things.
Look, what we really need here is a very long-winded explanation for just how bent all the lines are to the things we're looking at. And then we need them to draw a straight line so that we can laugh at them.
So Rumpus in chat is saying, 10th man, the Earth's curvature obscures the bottom of boats. What are you talking about? Oh dear. What should we do about the Rumpus in chat? Should we just ignore him and laugh?
Yeah, just say, hold on, this is Anthony, this is the answer to your question. Why are they all saying the Black Swan's dead? Well, so that when this circumstance arises and someone like the Rumpus asserts that Earth curve obstruction, based on R value giving you a geometric horizon, is what causes obstruction? No. We've got quotes from you, Rumpus. We do not have a geometric horizon. Quote, Rumpus! So Black Swan
Yeah.
dead? Or can I use Rumpus's own words to absolutely annihilate him without him even being here? In fact, I only need 2 words. Black Swan. What's that? Geometric horizon obstruction, Rumpus? Black Swan, mate. You don't have a geometric horizon, moron. Did you forget? Or have you bought your own bullshit over on Jose's channel that the Black Swan's dead? Well, no, my friend, it's not. You don't have a geometric horizon. You've all spent the last 3 months explaining just how non-geometric it is now, haven't you? Black Swan.
Nathan, somebody in chat's asking, will you play that Rumpus clip? We do. We don't.
If I can find it. You have
Yeah,
to talk amongst yourselves.
But they do have a geometric horizon. You just don't see it, but it does block things.
No, we don't
Come
have
on.
a geometric horizon.
Yeah, you do, but you don't see it.
No, we do.
No, they say
We do. Yeah.
It never was there to begin with.
Well, you could never see it, but it's still there and it still blocks things. Come on.
right. There's a lot of people that I was getting complaints, Nathan, that too many people are in the live stream, so that there's like 15 in there at the minute of 12 slots. There are other people that want to join. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up more.
No.
gonna open up more.
No. What are you doing? No, don't open up more. Kick people who aren't talking. I don't want more people. Just kick people who aren't talking. If they're not talking, kick them out.
Okay, so let's work down the list. Just Mercy, are you going to speak to us today, or do we terminate your contract?
Yeah, I'll speak. What's up?
Hey,
I'm just
what,
listening.
what shape's
I'm
the-
just
just
listening and
Mercy?
getting information because some of these, what do you call it? Some of these applications that these Globers are making, people who believe in these things, they don't take into consideration. They're weird.
No one claims the geometric horizon is where the apparent horizon is when...
Sorry, we've only got one horizon. We don't have 2 horizons. We don't have an apparent horizon and a geometric horizon. We just have a horizon. It's just not geometric!
Correct.
So we don't have a geometric horizon on a sphere, Rumpus? And, by the way, the geometric horizon is apparent!
Mute.
Yeah, well then, welcome to Flat Earth. Your model of a sphere Earth requires a geometric horizon to obscure things in the distance, for boats to go over, and to bend at altitude. If you are now disclaiming that we do not have a geometric horizon, then we don't have Earth curve geometry.
I told you 2.5 years ago how this worked, and you didn't remember.
You've just made it plain we don't have a geometric horizon. So what geometric position, moron? You don't have one!
We do.
Oh, so now we do. Only 30 seconds ago, ladies and gentlemen, he made it plain we don't have a geometric horizon, and now we do.
No, we don't have a geometric horizon.
The fact that this flip-flopping retard Rumpus has gone from it being geometric as a necessity, as per your model, to us not having a geometric horizon, and we never have, to now it being geometric again. If you can't recognise his flip-flopping and orthodox, it's because you're as retarded as him.
So we don't have a geometric horizon. Then we do, and now we don't have a geometric horizon, right? When are you running for office of retardia?
It's a function of geometry.
No, it's not, because we don't have a geometric horizon. So the horizon is absolutely not a function of geometry. It's not geometric. We've debunked that with this image called the Black Swan, where we demonstrate that if it was physical and geometric, it would be in an impossible location based on the parameters of your own geometry. So we definitely don't have a geometric horizon.
I didn't say we did. We do.
Oh, so now we do. Only 30 seconds ago, ladies and gentlemen, he made it plain we don't have a geometric horizon, and now we do. We don't. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Do you realize how many times you've destroyed your own argument today?
So what geometric position, moron? You don't have one!
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
So what geometric position, moron? You don't have one!
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
There you go. Whoever wanted it. Now you've had it.
Anthony asked for it. That's lovely. You should play that every day.
Yeah, maybe the Black Swan's dead. Or maybe we've got people like your priest Rumpus flip-flopping between us having a geometric horizon and us not having a geometric horizon and us having a geometric horizon and we don't have a geometric horizon and we do. Or maybe it's dead. Maybe it's not a problem. Just a massive problem for Rumpus when he comes here. But I'm pretty sure he's in the chat right now moaning about getting muted.
Mercy, mutant.
Yeah, I can hear plenty from him when he comes here and denies that you have a geometric horizon absolutely necessitated by your geometric model marked with an X labelled horizon. So you don't have one? Well, then you don't have any geometry. Oh, we do! Yeah, this doesn't sound like a Black Swan being dead argument. This sounds like a Black Swan stamping on your head argument. Fundies, wake up, smell the coffee. Black Swan's not dead. It's the obliteration of your geometric religion. You don't have to like it. You don't have to admit it. But it won't change that it's game over globe. Checkmate from every angle. Your best mind, AB Science, claims to be a scientist, spends a prolonged period detailing just how bent all the lines are to the targets. And then what does he do in Muppet Vision? Draws a straight line. For his geometric horizon that he hasn't got and can't see, and hasn't got straight lines to. Oh yeah, that sounds like a dead argument. No, it sounds like you morons pounding the C4 fire with a hammer. Because you don't realise how screwed you are. You require a geometric horizon, and you don't have one. So you can't draw straight lines, and your answer to this is to say all the lines are bent. Definitely not facilitating straight lines and geometry then. Your argument debunks the notion that you can draw a straight line to a physical obstruction we can't see. Yeah, dead swan, yeah. You keep telling yourself that, Fundies. That'll make the horizon physical again for your next time around argument when you say the boat's being blocked. And one guy whispers 2 words to you. Black Swan.
Hey, Virus,
And
come on,
they
tell
lose
me
their
what
mind.
you're talking about when you say Black Swan and diffraction all in one sentence, huh?
We do.
Come on, Virus.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
Dead? Nah, I don't think so, Fundies. I think this is a big problem. A very big problem. I'd call it an atom bomb-sized problem that none of you are coping with. You're all just sticking your head in the sand and telling us it's dead. Well, isn't that interesting? Not really. We all know you're in denial. We all know you don't get it. We all know it's going to be 18 months of you spamming my name in the chat. Say my name, bitches. The Black Swan's killed your geometry. You don't have to like it.
Hey, Nathan, can I ask those 5 questions? I know Rumpus too chicken to come on and answer it live. He might at least text it and I could have it for record.
Sure.
Okay. Rumpus, geometric horizon. Question 1. Is it an actual location? Question mark. 1.23 miles at 1 foot observer height measurable based on the radius. Question 2. Is it arbitrary? One to which any value can be assigned at will? Or is it geometric? Is it based on personal preference? Question mark. Third question, Rumpus. Radius of the Earth. Either it's 3,959 or Andrew Thomas Young says 3,963. 1 foot observer height, he puts at 1.23. And the 7/6R, he puts at 1.32. Are these real measurements or assumptions? Question mark. Are these assumptions or real? Question 4. Are there any fixed values that apply to the real world, Rumpus? And last question. Are real accurate observations possible at sea, SEA, with a sextant?
Oh,
Yeah,
hello.
who's
I
hosting
seem to be,
since you're
I seem
afraid
to
to
be
come on?
unmuted.
What was the first question? I'm sorry.
Hold on a second.
I missed.
Rumpus,
I was
hold
so
on.
busy trying to engage. I missed the
Rumpus.
questions.
Oh, wonderful.
Sleeping Warrior, are you
What was the
kicking
first
people
question?
off the server?
Hold on 1 second, Righteous. Go ahead, 10th man. Do you want to ask your first question again?
Yeah. Rumpus, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so first question, geometric horizon, is it an actual location, question mark, 1.23 miles from a 1 foot observer height based on the radius of 3959?
Yes, it's a ring. It's not just a location. It's a series of locations, but effectively, yes.
Is it actual?
Yes, it's an actual position on the Earth, yes.
No, it's
It's
not.
the
You can't.
observer.
No, sorry. Black Swan. Have you not seen this Black Swan argument, Rumpus? So there is no.
Yes, I have, and I fully understand
sorry,
it. And you
are you
don't.
muting me? Are you muting me?
What's that?
I'm asking
No,
a
you're
question.
muting me.
Are you muting me?
No.
Well, shut up then. I was in the middle of a sentence. Do you mind not muting me?
I was in the middle of a sentence. Are you muting me?
I was in the middle of a sentence pointing out that we have a Black Swan image that hasn't got a physical geometric horizon as a location. You're wrong.
I'm right.
Sorry, do you want to show it us in the Black Swan, please?
Well, when we talk about the geometric horizon, it's just a position.
Do you want to
for
show
light
it
travelling
me?
a straight line.
Show it me. Excuse me. I've asked you to show it me. Yeah, I'm going to shut you right up. I've asked him to show me this position he claims is there in the Black Swan. So what I want him to do is show it me. Not babble on and moan about being muted and tell you I'm talking through him. I'm asking you to show it us.
Answering you.
Show it
Be
us.
quiet. I'll tell you where
Not
the
answer.
geometric horizon is. I'll tell you. I'll answer you.
Show us.
I will answer the question.
Not answer,
right,
show.
The geometric horizon.
No. Let's shut him up again. Doesn't like being muted because he wants to take control of the question that's being asked. I've asked him to show us in the Black Swan this physical location that's marked with an X and labelled horizon in his geometric in his model, and I'm asking him to show us it. And all he's doing while I'm asking him, repeating what he's being asked, is babbling on about how he's going to tell us something. He's going to answer something, and he's being asked to show us something, which he cannot show.
Want me to answer?
No, I don't want you to answer.
You won't let me answer.
Hang on.
Let's see if he'll let me repeat the question without talking. Are you muting me, or are you going to let me repeat the question? Muting me, he's muting me, muting me. Rumpus censoring, muting. Rumpus is muting me right now. He won't let me repeat the question because he can't answer it.
You're scared.
You're muting me.
Okay.
Right, the geometric
Right,
horizon.
no, he's just going to answer a question that he wants to answer, so I've got to shut him up. Let's just tell the audience what's happened. He's just muted me continually because he doesn't want to answer the question he's being asked. So he's talked non-stop through me. I've got no choice but to mute him because he's muting me. So let's get the score correct. Rumpus muting me. That's what's happened. So I'm now going to take control of my own show, as I am entitled to do. I've asked him specifically to show this physical location in the Black Swan image. I don't want to hear an answer. I want to see a picture of the Black Swan, and I want an X marked on it where this physical location is. Show us it.
Nathan, before you let him back on, he already admitted it's
I'm happy to do that.
Location.
Show it then. Show us then.
Okay, I've got a screen grab here. Give me a second. I'll show you whereabouts it is.
Whereabouts? What do you mean whereabouts?
Well,
You fucking retard. Do you think I want a rough estimation of whereabouts it might be? I thought this was accurate geometric mathematics for the sphere we're standing on. You think I want a whereabouts?
Yes, because I can't in the picture work out where a mile from the observer is,
Oh, you can't work out where a mile from the observer is? It should be a physical demarcation point labelled horizon in your model. It's a physical geometric place. You've just answered, 10th man, yes, it is a physical place, but no, you can't mark it in the picture. So no, it's not a physical place. So when I say Black Swan, you have to mute me and cry foul and talk through me because you can't show us, can you? You can't show us where it is, Rumpus.
could do if I could given some time. I could calculate.
Given some time, it should be obvious and markable in the picture. In your model, it's labelled as the horizon. It's marked with an X.
It shouldn't be obvious.
Shouldn't be obvious. It's supposed to be a geometric physical location that proves we're on a sphere based on an X marked in your model labelled horizon, and you're saying you can't even see it. You'd need some time to find where it is.
Where the sky meets the sea.
No, that's not the geometric horizon. You've just said you couldn't mark 1 mile out. Where the sky meets the sea isn't your geometric horizon, moron. So that's not the geometric horizon. That would be what you're calling, redundantly, the apparent horizon.
Not where the sky meets the sea. That's the apparent horizon.
Sorry, what's not where the sky meets the sea? The geometric horizon. The description and definition of horizon is where the sky meets the sea. And you're saying that position's not the geometric horizon, so there's a second one that you can't find and can't mark because you don't know where a mile is?
I missed the start of your question, but if you were saying the apparent horizon is where the sky...
Apparent's redundant, you complete moron. Redundant. Are you stupid? Do you not understand English?
The apparent...
Do you not understand English? It's redundant!
What's redundant?
Apparent. When describing a horizon is the apparent position where the sky meets the ground. So to say the apparent position where the sky meets the ground is utterly redundant, you moron.
Definitions of
Are you talking
horizon,
through me? Why are you muting me? Let's mute him. Let's mute him. He's not listening to me. He's talking through me constantly. So he's not listening to a word I said. He said, why is it redundant? I started to explain and he talked through me non-stop, so I've got no choice but to mute him. Because he's muted me again, so he doesn't have to listen to my response. My response being, why am I getting talked through by my own fucking panel? The apparent position where the sky meets the ground is a horizon. Now, the apparent position where the sky meets the ground is redundant. Did you hear me, moron?
Several horizons. There's the astronomical...
No, we haven't. We haven't got several horizons. You're a buffoon. Anybody out there that thinks the Black Swan's dead? The horizon's a singular position where the sky meets the ground. It is apparent by definition. We don't have several. Are you stupid? There aren't several horizons in this picture on screen. There's one position where the sky appears to meet the ground. One. You're thick.
Yes, Nathan. There is only one position where the sky meets the...
So there's not several, you total mong. So, 100% of the time you're correct. You've just asserted there's several horizons. No, there's not. There's only one. The one in your model's geometric. Now, according to you, it's physical. When answering 10th man's question, you said it is a location, you can get to it, it's a mile away in the picture, I just don't know how far a mile away is. Well, it should be demarcated. It's an X in your model labelled horizon.
And that is incorrect. That's the
Oh, the model's incorrect? Yeah, welcome to Flat Earth. Absolutely epic. And with that, I'll say if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you are watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Once again, stay tuned if you're watching on the premiering stream, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Gotta kick some
but if you do, you're a real moron.
Okay, Rumpus, listen.
You don't understand. There are lots of definitions of horizons, but there's only one for where the sky meets the sea, and that's called the apparent horizon, you utter...
Apparent's redundant. You're a moron. I just explained it to you at the end of the live show, you complete retard. The apparent position where the sky meets the ground. You're thick, Rumpus. You don't understand English. Do you not know what redundant means? You're dense. The apparent position where the sky meets the ground is redundant. You're just thick.
Lots of definitions of horizon, but only one.
Lots of definitions. He's just parroting off the same shit. So, chant for me, Fundy Zealot. Chant for me how many different definitions there are. There's only one horizon. Your horizon's geometric.
There's only one apparent horizon.
Only one apparent horizon, so he's ignored me for the third straight time in a row. My point's not being acknowledged, 10th man, and until it is, I'll keep him here indefinitely. You're a retard. Apparent's redundant. Stating that you have an apparent position where the sky apparently meets the ground is an utterly redundant statement. You're thick.
The fact that there's a term called geometric horizon and astronomical horizon should tell you there's more than one, you twat.
Astronomical horizon's an imaginary horizon.
Yes, it's still defined.
Oh, so we're all going to say, yes, it is imaginary, you complete retard? Yeah, I don't care about your imaginary horizons. We've only got one actual horizon. The horizon you claim in your model is the actual horizon, it's marked with an X and labelled horizon, is geometric. The one we experience isn't, Rumpus. Black Swan.
The cross that you're talking about is the geometric horizon, and that's not what we see where the sun meets the sky.
The sun meets the sky.
Rumpus.
My God. My God. My God.
Hang on, please.
No.
I asked him a specific question.
Yeah, and so far his answer to your question about whether or not it's physical, 10th man, was yes, it is physical. That was his answer. Then I asked him to show it me in the Black Swan picture. And he said, I don't know where I can demarcate arbitrarily where the mile marker is, where my geometric horizon isn't, and we can't see, and it hasn't got any demarcation. He's then babbled on indefinitely with this redundant term, apparent. That's what he's done. And I'm trying to educate a moron that he doesn't understand that the apparent position where the sky appears to meet the ground is utterly redundant. He just keeps using it because he's thick. Now, I don't mind keeping him indefinitely. He's not going to get to question 2 because he doesn't understand English. He doesn't understand redundancy. And I don't know why you're talking through me, 10th man. I don't get it.
I just want to say one thing and I'll shut up.
Go ahead.
I asked him about the geometric horizon. Is it an actual location? I never said astronomical. I never said apparent. I said geometric. And he said the geometric was actual. He now is changing it to astronomical. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm not. The geometric horizon is where that formula defines it to be. But it's
who cares where the formula defines it to be? We're talking about pictures. Where is it in the picture? Can you mark it with an X? You mute me and tell me about how you're going to answer and bitch about how you're being muted. You couldn't demarcate it. You said you couldn't figure out where a mile was. So the answer was no. You're just a lying shitbag.
Mute.
See? Mute is your response to you saying you can define where something is. All you can do,
retard.
I'm trying to make a point. You cannot mark that point. Now, your model's got it very specifically marked as an X with a word horizon next to it. But you're saying you can't mark it. Now, you've been asked where it is and if it's physical and can be marked. You said yes, but then when I asked you to do it, you said no and are now telling us what your model does.
You seem to think the Mick West model is gospel.
Sorry, again, you think I'm asking about your model when I specifically point you to the picture and where the physical geometric horizon isn't because you can't mark it and you think I'm talking about Mick West's model? No. The model's got a geometric horizon, Rumpus. We don't have one of them in reality.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't. You've just made it very clear you couldn't mark it in the picture. So where is it in the Black Swan then? Where is it in the Black Swan? Point to it.
I told you and I'll tell you again, it's 1 mile or so away from the observer.
That's arbitrary. I say it's 1 mile, you say it's 2 miles. What, you're going to pick a particular wave? You're going to arbitrarily assign it? It should be a geometric edge of a sphere. Do you not know what geometry is? How are you going to draw a tangent line to something that's not got an edge and something beyond it? How are you going to draw a tangent line to this point in the Black Swan?
Gibberish. The geometric...
Gibberish? How are you going to draw a tangent? That's not gibberish, that's geometry. Clearly, he thinks my geometric terms are gibberish. You're mathematically illiterate then. Do you not know what a tangent is?
Mute.
Yeah, fuck you! You don't know what a tangent is, so you've got to bleat about your treatment. I've asked you how you're going to draw a straight line tangent to something that's in the middle of the picture between what you're calling an apparent horizon and open ocean. Well, no, mate, that's not a tangent. Don't you know what a tangent is?
Mute.
Yeah, fuck you. Is that your only defence? Yeah, I'll take you off mute and you can tell me what a tangent is.
Mute. Right, okay, so the geometric horizon, you seem to think, is where we think the sky meets the sun.
That's what it is in your model, you complete fucking retard. That's what it is in your model. That's the position that you claim blocks boats in the distance, based on where the sky appears to meet the ground. That is what you claim.
No, it's not, you twat!
Oh, so we don't have boats blocked by Earth curve obstruction?
Yes, we do, but it's not.
Oh, yes, we do. So it's not what you claim. You don't claim physical geometric horizon.
The term geometric horizon is where a straight line from the observer is a tangent to the Earth's surface. But that's...
No, that's the astronomical horizon. That's an imaginary line that you'll be drawing. No. Do you not understand geometry? I asked you a question. What's a tangent?
A tangent has a specific meaning where it hits the circle, for instance, or the sphere at an angle of 90 degrees to the radial of that circle or sphere.
So it's the edge.
But that's irrelevant.
So it's the edge.
No such thing.
It's not the edge. So if I bring up a diagram of the model, it's not going to be the edge.
It's a tangent is where the straight line from the observer touches the Earth's surface. But that's irrelevant when line...
So it touches it at the edge, then? It touches the edge? Or does it go through the circle, or does it touch the edge of it?
Touches the edge of it, like the light.
So it is the fucking edge! You unbelievable spastic!
Light does not travel in straight...
No, fuckwit. So it's the edge, fuckwit. I don't mind saying it 20 more times. Yeah, you've just admitted it is the edge. Now, in the picture, is it the edge in the picture?
The horizon, the apparent...
Not the horizon, the geometric position that we can't see. Not the apparent horizon in the picture. The arbitrary mile marker. Is that an edge? Was that a yes? It's the edge, is it?
No. Because light doesn't travel in a straight line.
No. Is it the edge in the middle of open ocean?
No, because light...
No. So what we see in the Black Swan isn't anything like your model then, because in your model it's the edge. In the picture it isn't.
You're getting confused with mixed west.
I'm not getting confused, you ad hom fuckwit. No, I'm not confused. You've just explained... and then lied and said edge is gibberish. Then I got you to clarify that we were talking about an edge. That's the point that your tangent will meet, the edge. You confirmed it. Now you're saying that that's not what's in the picture. Ergo, your model doesn't match reality, Rumpus.
A model exactly matches reality.
No. Your horizon isn't the horizon. In the model, the horizon's geometric, and in the picture, it's not. It does not match. Are you thick?
Referring to mixed west model again.
He seems to be deciding that I'm talking about mixed west model when I talk about a picture that doesn't have a geometric horizon. See, I don't really understand why your counterparts think this argument's dead, and yet your model requires a physical horizon edge, and you haven't got one in the picture.
The apparent horizon is determined...
Apparent is redundant! Are you dense? Are you an old dog that can't be educated? Listen, old dog. Okay, old boy. Redundant, old boy.
Apparent horizon is where...
Redundant, you moron. The apparent position where the sky meets the ground. That's redundant, you moron.
The apparent horizon is...
The apparent position where the sky meets the ground, for the 6th time, is redundant, you're stupid. You don't understand English, Rumpus, you're thick.
There are several definitions of horizon.
I couldn't give a crap. The apparent position where the sky meets the ground. In your model, it's defined as geometric. Not what we see in the picture, though. Not an arbitrary mile marker that's not an edge. Not matching reality. Your model doesn't match, mate.
The geometric horizon is not where we define the sky meeting the water, you utter moron!
Oh, well, it is in your model. That's what it is in your model. It's the position where the edge of your globe intersects the sky. That's what it is in your model. Welcome to Flat Earth. That's correct. You can distort into your mic all you like, but all you'll get is a response to you telling me that you don't claim that you've got a physical geometric horizon. So I'll just do what I did last time. So boats aren't being obscured by a physical geometric edge where the sky meets the ground, then?
The geometric horizon is not where the sun meets the sky.
The sun meets the sky? What the fuck are you talking about, you stupid twat? Sun meets the sky. Now you're just getting very confused about your terminology. I think you mean the apparent position where the sky meets the ground, or if you use redundant terminology because you're a moron globehead, the apparent position where the sky meets the ground. There's only one horizon. Your model's horizon is the edge of a sphere and where it meets the sky. That's what it is in your model. We clarified that earlier. You denied that it was an edge and said it was gibberish. It's not gibberish. You then clarified that that is the edge. It is what you claim obscures boats, and it is part of your religion. You just can't identify that particular position and identify it as an edge in the Black Swan.
The geometric horizon is not...
Why do you keep talking about the geometric horizon? You haven't shown it us in the Black Swan image. You've said it would take some working out, or you could roughly think about where it might be in the open ocean. But then you also clarified that that is no longer an edge, like it is in your model.
The geometric horizon...
Why do you keep talking about a geometric horizon? It's not the horizon in the picture. That's not the horizon in the picture, moron. We've only got one. It's not the one in your model. So why do you keep babbling on about a geometric horizon? We haven't got one.
The geometric horizon...
Why do you keep babbling on about what the geometric horizon is? It's not in the Black Swan picture. It's not an edge. It doesn't match your model. We don't have a geometric horizon. I'll say it over and over and over again, and so will you. So what geometric position, moron? You don't have one!
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
See? Your own words, Rumpus. We don't have a geometric horizon.
The geometric horizon is...
I'll just play it again. His own words.
A geometric horizon.
You don't have one!
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
One more time. Just in case Rumpus now starts talking about the geometric horizon as soon as I take him off mute.
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
Correct. We don't.
Geometric horizon.
Correct. We don't have a geometric horizon. Those are your own words. I don't want the next words out of your mouth to tell me what a geometric horizon's doing. We don't have one.
The geometric horizon...
We don't have one. Let's play it again. You don't have one!
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
You don't have a
geometric horizon is not...
No, I'm not going to do it. You're not going to tell me what a geometric horizon's doing. We don't have one by your own volition, by your own words. So now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
We don't have a geometric horizon.
I was referring to the fact that the...
No. I don't give a shit what you were referring to. You were referring to this. One!
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
We don't have a geometric horizon.
Don't have a geometric horizon in the sense of...
Yeah, we don't. That's right. So stop telling me what the geometric horizon in your model does. We don't have one in reality. So I don't want to hear what your model's horizon does. That's not the horizon we experience. We don't have a geometric horizon.
We do not have a geometric horizon.
Yeah, I know. So stop telling me what your model that isn't representative of reality and its geometric horizon does. We don't have one.
The geometric horizon
is
not...
I'll do it again. My God, he's fucking dense. One!
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
We don't have a geometric horizon. Don't want to hear what it does. We haven't got one.
The geometric horizon...
Let's do it again. I can do this all day. Geometric position, moron! You don't have one!
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
We don't have one.
The
Rumpus.
geometric horizon.
Let's do it again. Every time he says the geometric horizon, I'm going to point out with his own words that we don't have one. Don't have one!
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon. The geometric horizon.
Bye-bye. Every time you say the geometric horizon we don't have, I'll just play your own words back to you, you total idiot.
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
We don't have one, Rumpus.
The geometric horizon.
We haven't got one. The only geometric horizon is the one in your model. It doesn't exist in reality.
It does exist in reality, but
no, it doesn't. We've just established that with the black swan. Are you thick? Did you not listen to anything that was just talked about for the last 20 minutes? The black swan doesn't have a geometric horizon. You can't point it out. You said it might take some time to work it out, but when we actually boil it down, it's not going to be an edge for geometry to be performed.
It's not a visually apparent, but it can be.
Well, then if it's not visually apparent, we can't see it. How are you going to do geometry with something not visually apparent? You complete moron. We know it's not visually apparent. We know by your own words we don't have a geometric horizon. But your globe model does.
Right, so you finally worked out we can't see it as a visual entity, you twat.
So we can't see
You
the models.
double-speaking.
So the model has a horizon. It's specifically marked with an X and labelled horizon. And according to Rumpus, that is not ever seen. Okay, if it's not ever seen, why did you claim boats were being blocked by it?
I didn't say it was being blocked by it, you twat.
So when you worked out the hidden value for the Isle of Man, you weren't asserting that it was being blocked by a physical geometric earth curve.
I used the refracted form of the horizon, you twat.
So you used bent light. How did you draw a straight...
Yes!
Oh, he's talking through me. It's time to mute me. I was in the middle of a question because he knew what's coming. How, if all the light is bent, did you achieve the straight line for the tangent?
We didn't use a straight line, you twat.
Oh, well, then how are you going to do geometry? You require a straight line for a
It's not
tangent. Straight lines only.
No, you don't, you twat.
It seems like you're distorting quite a lot, Rumpus. Are you quite triggered? It seems so. So, if all the lines are bent, you can't do geometry.
Yes, you can, you twat.
No, you can't. You can't draw straight lines for a tangent. So, have we got straight lines or bent ones?
Bent ones, you twat.
So, you're not going to do geometry then? You don't understand it? I'm sorry, I tried to establish this earlier, but he muted me repeatedly. You don't understand what a tangent is.
I do, you can still have curved lines meeting at a tangent, you twat.
Sorry, curved lines meeting at a tangent. So what, you've got a donkey?
Yes, you twat!
So you've got... I'm talking, don't mute
What a
me.
knucklehead.
So we're going to be doing donkey dick geometry, not a straight tangent. So what... Where are you getting
curved
donkey?
lines can
I'm
meet...
talking, you fucking muting bastard. Yeah, you need a straight tangent. Tangent, if I say straight tangent, that's also redundant.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, go on.
Exactly.
Tangent by definition is straight. So, no straight lines, no tangent.
Incorrect. Curved lines can meet...
No, that's by definition what a tangent is. It's a straight line.
Where it touches, you twat.
Sorry, you're not going to make a straight line from a bent line. You've just explained that you weren't using straight geometry. But you were. You were drawing a straight line to the physical obstruction, but claiming the things beyond the physical obstruction had bent lines.
Curved lines can meet the earth at a tangent, you twat.
Sorry, a tangent by definition is straight. You don't know what a tangent is. You're stupid.
Only at the point of contact with the surface.
You don't know what a tangent is. You are stupid. A tangent, by definition, is straight. You're thick.
A curved line can meet the surface at a tangent, you moron.
No, you're thick. A curved line meeting at a tangent. That's a contradiction in terms. The tangent meets a curved line. That would be your physical geometric earth curve obstruction you claimed blocked the bottom of the Isle of Man. Now, all the lines, according to you, were curved. We never spotted that you were claiming all the lines were curved and yet still drawing a straight tangent. Now you're saying you can achieve a curved tangent. That's a contradiction in terms. You don't know what tangent is.
You're an utter moron. You know nothing.
That's an ad hominem attack. You fucking retard. Rumpus, all of you globe heads, pay attention. Pay attention. Rumpus is thick. He doesn't understand geometry. He does not know what a tangent is. Now, I've just pulled apart his lack of understanding of a tangent. He thinks a curved line can achieve a tangent, violating the definition of tangent. So he's thick. Rumpus doesn't understand geometry. He's stupid.
You're an utter moron.
Yeah, that's the second ad hominem in a row. It's a logical fallacy. When you attack the man rather than the argument, Rumpus does not understand that if he's curving all the lines to the targets, he can't perform straight geometry, which would be to say he hasn't got a tangent anymore.
Straight geometry, you twat.
Yeah, a tangent's straight. He's just said straight geometry, you twat. Can someone on the panel please bring up the definition of the word tangent for me, please? He's just said straight geometry, you twat, to imply that I don't understand what a tangent is and that you wouldn't require straight lines for geometry. Is anybody on the panel? Can somebody please bring up the definition of tangent?
Hey, can I ask a question to Rumpus?
No! Oh, me inviting somebody to bring up a definition is you to ask a question, is it? No. I just want the definition of tangent on screen. So when Rumpus says straight geometry and then calls me a twat, I want the definition of tangent that he hasn't got for his model on screen so we can clarify who's right and who's wrong here. Whether or not we do need a straight line and whether it is part of the definition of the word tangent or whether or not straight geometry makes me a twat. We're going to establish who's stupid here, me or Rumpus. Is anybody on the panel?
Rumpus.
I got her on screen.
Okay, we don't need to go there so many times.
Okay.
It's clear. Nathan, it's not you, man.
Just, mate, whoever you are, please, hold your tongue. Please, can you read it out for me, Righteous?
Okay. In geometry, a tangent line, or simply tangent to a plane curve at given point, is the straight line that just touches the curve at that point.
You twat, Rumpus. You complete twat. You don't understand geometry, you twat.
You are a moron.
You moron. You dumb retard. You don't understand geometry. Straight geometry? Yeah, it's part of the definition of a tangent. You think you can draw a curved tangent? That violates the definition of tangent. You twat. You moron. Anybody out there that thinks Rumpus is smart, he's unbelievably dumb. He doesn't understand a tangent. Straight moron.
You moron, you...
No, Rumpus. Your unbelievable string of ad homs won't save you from the demonstrable stupidity you've just exhibited. You think a tangent's curved. You think you can achieve a tangent, which by definition is straight, with curved reflected light. You're thick.
A curve can meet the Earth's surface at a tangent, you twat.
Sorry, meet at a tangent? A tangent's a straight line. By definition, you're stupid. You don't understand what a tangent is. Do you not understand that a tangent's straight? You thicko.
A point of contact, it's at a tangent.
Sorry, it's a straight line that intersects the edge of a curve. That's a tangent. It's straight. You complete twat. You moron. You thicko. You retard. No wonder you don't like being here.
Ask him to define horizon.
Define horizon.
Curves can meet the Earth's surface at a tangent. You
Curves
What's a horizon?
Sorry, tangent's straight. You want to keep going on this bullshit, batshit crazy idea that tangent lines are curved? They're not. You're thick. You don't understand geometry. You're thick.
Curves can meet the Earth's surface at a tangent.
Shut up. What's a horizon? You already screwed that pooch. What's a horizon? Define horizon.
There are many horizons. Which one do you want the definition of?
Many horizons? Really? Define them.
Okay, there's the astronomical horizon, which is the tangent to an observer, which goes along at the eye.
Give me the definition of a horizon, you clown.
Be quiet, you twat. So you asked me for several horizons. I was trying to give you some definitions, and you interrupted me immediately because you're a moron.
It's an imaginary point. That's why I interrupted you. Give us the definition of a horizon.
He started off by giving you an imaginary. definition.
Right.
The definition of an imaginary horizon. He's done it 3 times, and every time you point it out, he mutes you. So I'll mute you, Rumpus. Can you repeat your rebuttal that he wouldn't let you say and muted you, please, Quantum Eraser, in regards to the celestial horizon?
Yeah, the astronomical horizon, along with the true horizon, are both imaginary. We work at the really is level here, Rumpus. So
Right, so you want me to give you a definition of the apparent horizon, which is one of the many...
Oh, he's going to use that.
Horizon is redundant.
Yeah, I've tried that with him again. He's an old dog that doesn't understand new tricks. So comprehensively limited, Rumpus. I'll try again. The apparent position where the sky meets the ground is redundant. Sicko, moron.
QE has already admitted he knows.
Oh, don't scream into your mic just because we're showing how stupid you are. Don't get triggered, you retard. Yeah, apparent's redundant. We've covered that at least 10 times. Moron, thicko.
QE has already admitted to the existence of other horizons, you twat.
What? No. Clown show. Okay, I'm standing on the shore in California. I'm looking out to see boats riding on the horizon. They're at the horizon, right? However, somebody in Hawaii is standing on Waikiki Beach and they're looking out at a horizon. Those are 2 different horizons, right? Do you see where I'm going?
2 different apparent horizons, yes. Yeah, 2 different apparent horizons, yes.
That doesn't make them different horizons.
I missed that. You interrupted me, so I didn't hear the start of your sentence. There are 2 apparent horizons in those conditions. There are local apparent horizons. All apparent horizons are local.
Apparent horizon is redundant.
No, it's not, because you just admitted you know of other horizons, you twat. You just...
Sorry. Let's just try it again. Apparent position where the sky appears to meet the ground is redundant. Or, another way of phrasing it, the apparent position where the sky meets the ground. That would be an apparent horizon. The apparent position where the sky meets the ground. You're thick, Rumpus. I've said this, 11 times? You're too dumb to learn new tricks. Thick, basically. It's redundant, mate. Maybe scream down your mic at me.
QE has already listed other horizons, so we have to define the horizon we're talking about. And if it's the one where the sky meets the sea, we're talking about the apparent horizon.
The sky appears to meet the sea. The sky never meets the sea.
Go ahead.
The sky never meets the sea, Rumpus. All horizons are apparent. The sky doesn't actually meet the sea. That would be silly. That's why they're all apparent by definition. Why is this so difficult to understand?
The astronomical horizon is not apparent.
That's an imaginary horizon, though, isn't it? Now, I'm not talking about imaginary land. We haven't got little violins playing where we go to Rumpus's imaginary world where he details imaginary horizons. No. We're talking about the horizons in a picture. Yeah? Now, we just want to know if that horizon is a geometric horizon. We already know the answer. It's not a geometric horizon. We've made that absolutely and abundantly clear, as have you, on multiple occasions. We know.
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
So we know it's not a geometric horizon in the images. But your model's got a
Correct,
geometric
it's the apparent horizon.
Yeah, you don't need to talk through me and confirm for the 16th time that we don't have a geometric horizon.
Apparent horizon again.
Yeah, it just keeps using this redundant term.
Are you fucking retarded?
Yes, he is.
In an image, you could work out where the geometric horizon is, where the astronomical horizon is, but visually, it's obviously... Stop interrupting me, you twat. And you can obviously visually see...
Sorry, you don't need to work out where the sky meets the ground. I don't even have to go to a random picture. The one that's on screen now is perfectly sufficient. I can literally go to any random picture that plays ever in this live stream and go, there you go, there's one position where the sky appears to meet the ground. And you saying that you can work out multiples? Well, that's just absurd, Rumpus. Why are you so stupid?
You moron. There are several...
That's an ad hom attack. I'll say it again, because he ignored me. Yeah, in lieu of the argument, attacked me and called me a moron? No. I'll make my point again. We'll see if he ad homs me. Maybe he'll scream down the mic. Maybe he'll moan about being muted, because he's completely ignored my point. So another random picture on screen. There is only one position where the sky appears to meet the ground. I don't need to calculate anything. I can see it.
I don't know what picture you're referring to.
Any picture of the horizon ever.
What picture are you referring to?
Any picture of the horizon ever.
Right, so there's a visual horizon, which we call the apparent horizon. But
that's redundant, you fucking retard. Oh my god, you're so stupid, it's starting to hurt me.
Yeah, he just defined the geometric horizon.
The geometric horizon is a mathematical thing, but it can find...
Oh, really? Well, if it's only mathematical, why would you assert it's blocking buildings and boats, and then simultaneously deny that it exists at all?
I don't claim it blocks. I don't claim it blocks the boats.
Oh, really? So you didn't claim the amount of feet and inches blocked by the physical horizon in the Isle of Man?
I used the refracted form, so I didn't use the geometric horizon.
Refracted horizon? What the hell is that?
Sorry, no. The refracted horizon wasn't being utilised in the Isle of Man discussion. You were drawing...
Yes, it was, you twat.
Sorry, I've gone and re-listened to the Isle of Man discussion. You're drawing a straight line to the physical horizon and refracting the targets.
No, you're not. You're using, to do the calculations, using Mick West thing, you use a curve.
Using Mick West's thing. Mick West's got a physical geometric horizon marked with an X, labelled horizon. It's based on R. It's the physical geometric horizon. That is what is in his model.
His diagram doesn't reflect his refracted...
Sorry, the diagram reflects the physical geometric horizon. It's marked with an X, labelled horizon in that geometric model.
And that's not what obscures things, you twat.
Oh, well, welcome to Flat Earth. Then? Welcome to Flat Earth. Yeah,
welcome to Flat Earth, clown show.
Yeah, clown, moron. Yeah, well, if it's not obscuring things, the feet and inches value you attributed to how much it was hiding the Isle of Man were all wrong then.
No, it's perfectly correct. Because
You've just made it plain that all of the refracted values were being used. And I pointed out, no, you drew a physical straight line tangent to the physical geometric horizon. That's what you did. The horizon in the model was marked with an X, labelled horizon, and geometric. The refracted values were using the R value that gave you that physical geometric horizon. So,
yep.
So ultimately speaking, you absolutely, for that model to work, require a physical geometric horizon. It's even marked with an X and labelled horizon in the model.
Yes, but the X doesn't...
Yes, but that's not the horizon we experience. We only have one horizon, it's marked with an X and geometric in your model. The horizon we experience is not that.
The geometric horizon does
Why do you keep saying about the geometric horizon? Have I got to play your own bloody outset again? Bloody hellfire, how many times?
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
Stop talking about what your model's got. That's not what we have in reality. Your model doesn't match reality. We don't have a geometric horizon by your own tongue.
It's not visually apparent, you twat.
Well, then we haven't got a geometric horizon. If it's not visually apparent, we haven't got one. So
wait a second there, Nathan. He said it wasn't visible.
That's correct. He said it wasn't visible.
Rumpus. The definition for the geometrical horizon, the local horizon, also called the geometrical horizon, is the visible boundary between the earth and sky. Visible! Do you understand what that means?
No, it's not, you twat. No,
well, then welcome to Flat Earth. Well, if it's not visible, the definition says it is, and your model says it is. It's marked with an X and labelled horizon, and you've claimed how much that physical obstruction has blocked the Isle of Man. And you're now saying that those maths are perfectly legit, even in the face of you now telling us here and now, seconds earlier, that that's not what we see.
QE, you don't understand the most...
that's an ad hom. I'm not going to tolerate this shit rumpus. Ad hom non-stop. You've just made it clear that that's not what we see. But in the picture on screen now, you asserted that you, when drawing a straight tangent to give you an R value, to base your refraction on, that the Earth curve was obstructing the bottom of the Isle of Man. Now you're simultaneously declaring that we can't see a geometric physical obstruction, that you also give feet and inches values to how much it's obstructing stuff.
What picture on screen are you talking about, you twat?
Isle of Man, you fucking retard. Isle of Man, you told us, based on a straight line being drawn to the geometric horizon, based on an R value, marked with an X, labelled horizon in the model, how much was blocked in feet and inches, based on how physical and actual it was, based on the geometry. Now, you can't label a geometric horizon in the Black Swan So you're simultaneously declaring that we don't have a geometric horizon when that's absolutely what you asserted in the Isle of Man debate. And you also gave us a qualification for just how physical it was by how much it obscured things in the distance with a feet and inches value attached.
We didn't use the geometric horizon, you twat!
Well, then you didn't use the horizon that's marked with an X and labelled horizon. Yeah, you did. The geometric horizon is based on the R value. And your terrestrial refraction uses the R value. The R value gives you a geometric horizon. So yes, you did, you're a liar, or you don't understand geometry.
We did not use the geometric horizon, you...
Yes, you did. You used 7/6R. The R value gives you a geometric horizon in the model. You are a liar or thick.
The 7/6R is not the geometric horizon.
Excuse me, the R. You don't have to scream down your mic, you little bitch. You just enjoy me obliterating you, you pathetic little fundy. You scream down the mic, you squirm for me, you little pathetic bitch. You're fucked, mate. Rumpus. See how calm I am? It's because you're fucked. Your R value gives you a geometric horizon, and your refraction's based on R. So, you must have a geometric horizon. That's what R gives you. And you're saying that's not what you use. Yeah, you will. You either don't understand your own geometry, or you're a liar.
The 7/6R is not...
Yeah, that's R. That gives you a geometric horizon. The R gives you a geometric horizon.
No, the geometric horizon is defined for using straight lines, you twat.
Sorry, you don't have straight lines. You've got bent lines.
Exactly, so you can't...
So you don't have a geometric horizon, you don't have any straight lines to draw to them, so you can't do geometry, you can't see a geometric horizon. According to you, it's not what we see. According to you, we don't have a geometric horizon, but it's overtly marked with an X and labelled horizon in your model, and has been claimed by you during the Isle of Man to block stuff in the distance. So you can't simultaneously have and not have a geometric horizon. The fact remains that your refraction is based on a geometric horizon. It's based on R. So you must have a geometric horizon. That's how your maths works. Either you're thick or you're an outright liar.
The geometric horizon...
We don't have a geometric horizon. How many times is he going to do this? For God's sake.
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
Yeah, we don't have a geometric horizon. Why do you keep telling us about what we don't have? And it's only
Why do you keep on
it's only in existence in your fucking model. And it doesn't match reality. So who cares what your model's got? Don't tell us about the geometric horizon. We don't have one.
The geometric is not used...
We don't have a geometric horizon by your own lips. One!
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
They don't need to tell me what the geometric horizon does.
Yeah, so why do you keep on referring to it, you twat?
I don't. It's marked with an X and labelled horizon in your globe model. It's just not the horizon we experience. I don't keep bringing it up. It's a necessity for your geometric globe model. The fact that we don't have one means your model doesn't match the reality we experience. Your model's got a horizon. It's marked with an X, labelled horizon, and is geometric. And by your own tongue, we don't have one in reality. So your model doesn't match reality.
The geometric horizon is not...
Let's do it again. Let's tell him again by his own tongue.
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
Why'd you keep telling me about what the model does? I don't care what your model
Because
does, you fundy moron. Keep telling me what your model does, like I give a shit about what your model's got. I don't, you fundy zealot. You worship that model. You think I care about what the model's got. We don't have a geometric horizon in reality, therefore your model doesn't match reality. Your model doesn't work. Your globe religion breaks. It dies here with a black swan tattooed on the grave stone of heliocentrism.
It works. My model works perfectly.
No, it doesn't. You don't have a geometric horizon. Your model's got one. We don't have one in reality. So your model doesn't match reality. Your model's got a geometric horizon, and we don't have one in reality.
And we don't claim the geometric horizon obscures things.
Yeah, you've claimed it in the Isle of Man. I'll put the images back on screen because you're a lying bastard. That's the Isle of Man, North End. You told us how many feet and inches were blocked by the physical geometric horizon you've just denied. You liar.
Using curved light, you twat.
Curved light,
Not
so if it's curved light, you can't draw a tangent.
You're a moron if you believe.
There's the ad hom again. So if it's curved light, you haven't got a straight line, otherwise known as a tangent, that's capable of being drawn.
Curved lines can meet the surface of the Earth at a tangent.
That's not a tangent. That violates the definition of tangent. Righteous Force, can you put the definition of tangent on screen again? Rumpus is stupid, and I'm going to demonstrate to my audience just how stupid he is. A straight line that meets a curved one, that would be a tangent. At the edge. Formerly your horizon, marked with an X, labelled horizon in your model. Something we don't have in reality by your own admission. Please, can you read it out for me? I'll scurry off mute now. You're on mute at the moment, Righteous.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, so in geometry, the tangent line to a plane curve at a given point is the straight line that just touches the curve at that point.
So
and then it can bend, so it's not a problem.
And then it can bend. Where does it say that? Sorry, Righteous. Does it also say and then it can bend afterwards?
I don't see it.
You're just making shit up, Rumpus. You fundy moron. You don't need to change definitions that have just been laid out to you. You're just making shit up now, aren't you?
Hey,
you're a moron. You know nothing about geometry.
There's an ad
Hold on
hominem.
a second, man. Hold on. I had a worker in my house, and I had the audio playing in this. And before he left, he just left, and he said, just to let that guy know that's talking on the computer, that the horizon is where the sky appears to meet the ground, and he snickered, rocking out the door.
Yeah, and that's an apparent horizon, but there are others.
It's redundant.
Apparent horizon, really? That's redundant for like the 557th time.
Thick. Apparent position where the sky appears to meet the ground. It's redundant. You stupid.
He keeps saying there are others.
You've mentioned other horizons yourself.
Yeah, you eat your mic. Eat your mic. Squirm for me, bitch. Eat that mic. Go on, Rumpus. Eat it.
You've even listed other...
Eat that mic. Hold on,
Yeah.
I want to hear his pain.
My God.
I want to hear his pain. Eat your mic for me, you little fundy bitch.
You've even listed other horizons, you utter moron.
We've only got one horizon. Are you fundamentally retarded? There's only one position where the sky meets the ground. Again, without even trying. Random pictures on screen. One position where the sky appears to meet the ground. One.
Yeah, that's called the apparent horizon.
That's redundant. My God, are you dumb? Are you so dumb that after about 20 times of having it explained, that saying the apparent position where the sky appears to meet the ground, or the apparent position where the sky meets the ground is redundant? Are you so dumb and dense that you don't get this?
QE has listed other horizons.
Are you so dumb that you don't get this? It's redundant, you thicko.
QE has listed another...
Are you so dumb that you don't get this? There's only one horizon. Using the term apparent, which is redundant, to create a second horizon when we haven't got the one in your model doesn't alter that we don't have the one in your model.
QE has listed other...
We don't have the horizon in your model. That one is geometric. If I hold a ball up in front of me, it will have a geometric horizon. The ball. Now, the Earth is claimed to be a ball by you, so it should and would have a geometric horizon if it was a ball. We don't, because it isn't the one in your model. The one in your model, the horizon labelled in your model with an X, is geometric. The one in the pictures aren't. It's game over, Globe. You just don't understand English. You don't understand redundancy. You're thick.
The geometric horizon is only...
Let's play it again, Sam, because he's never going to understand it and needs his own words over and over and over.
We do.
Again.
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct. We don't have a geometric horizon.
We don't have a geometric horizon, Fundy. Your model's got one, but we don't.
It doesn't say where the sky meets the water, you twat.
That is the definition of a horizon. The apparent position where the sky meets the ground, or if you're a retarded fundamentalist globehead, the apparent position where the sky meets the ground.
That's the definition of an apparent horizon, not...
Yeah. What, the apparent position where the sky meets the ground?
QE has listed...
You are dumb. Don't you understand that apparent is redundant when describing a horizon and there's only one position where the sky appears to meet the ground? It's called a horizon. You're dumb. You're thick. I don't mind sitting here for the next hour humiliating you in front of my audience, you thick retard.
Yes, there is only one horizon.
Yes, there is only one horizon. It's just not the one in your model.
That
was a lot of stuttering. It's not the one in your model.
Mute.
Mute. It's not the one in your... You're not on mute, you fucking retard. You're not on mute, you fucking retard. That's why we can hear you saying mute. It's your way of obfuscating the fact that we don't have a geometric horizon like the one in your model.
It's not visible, you twat, but it is.
So, well, it needs to be. The one in your model's labelled with an X and called horizon. And also...
It's the antithesis of the definition of geometric horizon from National Geographic. The local horizon, also called the geometrical horizon, is the visible boundary between the earth and sky. Visible! You said it's not visible.
Yeah, that definition on National Geographic is very peculiar.
Correct.
Oh, it's peculiar? Why? Because it doesn't meet your standards of a non-visible visible position that blocks the Isle of Man but simultaneously doesn't exist. Yeah, it would be peculiar to you. You're a zealot.
Notice how you listed lots of other horizons, QE, you twat.
Yeah, they were all geometric.
No, you listed a great number on that definition on that website of the National Geographic. Hold on, let me
eat your mic for us. Eat it for us. I love your pain, Rumpus. Go on, really eat it. Eat that mic.
So there are lots of definitions
Eat the mic.
on that
Eat
website.
the mic. Eat it. Eat the mic for me.
And they do say,
Eat the
and they
mic.
call it the
Go
geometrical.
on, I want to share your pain. Go on, share your pain. Share your pain with us. Go on, get angry.
Some of which
Go
are
on.
not where the
Go
sky
on, you
meets the
fundy
water.
fucking moron.
Some of them are not
Go on, you
where
fucking
the sky meets the
retard.
water.
Get angry.
That's because
You
there are
stupid
lots
retard.
of
Don't
different
understand what redundant
horizons.
means.
Only
What a
one of
retard.
which is where the
Thick.
sky meets
Go on,
the
eat your
water.
mic for
They
us, you
talk about the
fucking retard.
topographical
Go
horizon.
on.
They talk about
Go on,
the
I'll
local
rumpus you, I'll
horizon. They
mute
talk about
you like you
lots
do
and
to
lots
us,
of
you
different
fucking retard.
horizons, and
Go
only
on,
one
eat your mic,
is
you
the
retard.
apparent
Go
horizon
on, do it
where
for
the
us.
sky
Do it,
meets
go on.
the water.
Go on,
And that's the one we're
fundy
trying to talk
retard.
about. The geometric
Go on,
horizon
share your pain.
exists, but
Share your
it's
pain.
not visible
Come on,
because
Rumpus.
in the atmosphere,
Come on.
light is
Good
bent.
dog.
The geometric
Good
horizon
doggy.
is
You're
only
thicko,
useful
Rumpus.
when you have
You
light
don't
that's
understand
traveling
English.
in straight lines.
You're just
And light
dumb.
doesn't travel in
Thick
straight lines in the
ass
atmosphere. It's
shit.
bent. And the diagram that...
Yeah, I've had enough of him. I've had enough of him. He's a thicko. Doesn't understand the word apparent is redundant. He'll never acknowledge it.
Nope.
You're a twat, Nathan.
Yeah, that's an ad-hom. Word redundant.
I think we
So-
should stop using the word atmosphere because that's crediting the ball where there shouldn't be any given.
I agree.
Right,
Okay.
so we now understand, hopefully, there's a geometric horizon which is not a...
No, let's
Shut up.
play his bloody clip again because he keeps saying the word geometric position, moron. You don't have one.
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
You don't have one, Rumpus.
The geometric horizon can...
Do it again because he's got Tourette's.
Geometric horizon.
So what geometric position, moron? You don't have one.
We do.
Oh, so now we do.
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
We don't have a geometric horizon.
The geometric horizon is a
Why does he
position...
keep saying the geometric horizon? That's just in your religious belief that your model represents the reality we experience. So I don't want to hear about your religious zealotry. Oh, we do!
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
So what geometric position, moron? You don't have one!
We do.
Oh, so now we do!
Correct, we don't have a geometric horizon.
Why do you keep telling us
The
about your
geometric
religious
horizon
belief
does
in your
not
model?
where the sky meets the water.
That's the definition of a horizon, where the sky appears to meet the water. That's what a horizon is, you retard.
Go and look at the definitions that QE found. You'll find that's not the case, you twat.
He's just read it out. Literally 20 seconds ago. He just read it out. It is absolutely... You said it was peculiar. Are you having memory trouble as well? He read it out, you said it was peculiar.
There are lots of definitions on that website.
Oh, so you, what, going to whistle past it? You just heard it. Are you deaf? Are you old? Old dog. Listen up, old dog. You said it was peculiar. Turn up your hearing aid.
There are multiple definitions of horizon.
Yeah, you just heard one. I just explained it, you stupid deaf moron. You just heard it. You said it was peculiar.
There are multiple definitions.
Yeah, now he's got Tourette's. Stuck record. Chant for me, bitch. Chant.
So
there are multiple definitions.
Chant. Multiple. Chant for me, you fundy zealot.
Mute. That's all you can do, Nathan.
You can hear you saying mute. Are you really this stupid? I've had enough of him. I'm going to kick him out. He's a complete twat.
My God. And Rumpus, you friggin' idiot. If you have multiple definitions for the same term, that is a textbook equivocation fallacy. Take that with you. Yeah, air is not the atmosphere, and the second law doesn't apply to the earth. Retard.
Right, apologies to 10th man. He started that off and I completely hijacked his 5 questions.
No problem. I was entertained to the maximus. I just wanted to make sure I held him on his... See, that was a specific question I designed to get him to say, and I'll read it again, and it's about the geometric horizon. Is it an actual location? And then I use Andrew Thomas Young's 1 foot observer height at 1.23 based on the radius of 3963 that he uses. And he said yes. And then he danced around it. And I just wanted to bring him back to the word actual. So no worry, friendly fire. I enjoyed the entertainment. Thank you, Nathan.
Can you ask your question just once more, though?
Yeah. Geometric horizon, Rumpus. Is it an actual location? Question mark.
We don't.
So now we do.
Correct. We don't have a geometric horizon.
There you go. There's your answer.
I love it.
And with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's live and after show possible. Also, of course, a massive thank you to all of you in the Nathan Oakley premiering stream for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!